This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
I got multiple personality warlord over here talking to himself in the chat across the platforms. YouTube warlord talking to Kick warlord. DJ Dub, welcome in. Fuzzy Simba. Listen, the title of the screen, the title of the stream is Fuck It Friday. You're surprised I'm late? I was gonna wash my hair. That would make me even later. I walked down the road. I waited all day to see if my client would pay my invoice so that I'd have, real weed money instead of like the $20 I was sitting on. Lazy Eyes, welcome in. So I decided like at 7 o'clock, I think, 6:30, something like that I would walk down the road and go to the weed store. Now, I got me some of the bottom shelf. I got their bottom shelf. It was like $10 a gram. I got a couple of grams of their bottom shelf. But as I'm on my way to the weed store, I'm getting ready to cross there. You got to cross the highway to get to the weed store. There's a weed store that just opened on the side that I'm crossing from. So I'm like, oh, what? Greenhouse just opened. Like their grand opening is tomorrow. So I walked in and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? I was like, first of all, do you take card? Because I got card. That's why I was walking across the street. He's like, we can't take card yet. He's like, you got Cash App? I'm like, fuck, I didn't even bring my phone with me. So they decided to give me a gram of their, because obviously they're looking at me and they're like, this dude smokes a lot of weed, so we won't win him over as a customer. So they gave me a gram of their top shelf completely for free. So I'm gonna hit that up here in a little bit, but I was smoking on this bong of the other shit. I got about a week and a half, Fuzzy Simba. A little over a week. A week and some change. It was like October, or about a week. It was like October 10th or 11th. October 11th. So unfortunately, I miss out on the October 7th. But I mean, the Troll Patrol is going to be on hiatus for a little bit anyway. I'm hoping when the Twitch ban is lifted, I will be able to be here on Twitch. If you want to make sure that happens, I need a little financial support. I'm in a bit of a pinch right now. So hit up all my links. People have been very generous all week. I've gotten several $100s in donations. I appreciate it so much. You guys fucking rock. So what we're gonna do tonight? Well, first of all, we're gonna get the Diddy reaction. He was sentenced earlier today. But what we're gonna do tonight is I have my watch later list on YouTube. It has like 800 and something videos that I have yet to clear out, and it could be a lot of shit that like we didn't actually get to cover on the show. I'm gonna let you guys have veto power. You're gonna be able to be like, fuck this. We're gonna be able to skip. We're gonna go through my watch later. It's like 6-8 months old of all kinds of different shit. Interesting stories. There are interesting stories that we're going to cover. So we're going to do that for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours on YouTube. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube at about 10:30. We're going to go to Kick and Rumble. I'm going to do Rumble tonight. And we're also going to do the same thing over there, but not my watch later list. We're going to make a playlist of just fucking everything. And it could be anything in the world that will pop up, predominantly between adult cartoons and sitcoms. So that'll come up here in a couple hours. I'm trying to hit my 5 hour on Kick, If you hit a base of 5 hours on Kick every day, you get a base payout. So that's why I've been streaming the amount of time specifically that I have. I've actually been looking and making sure I've been streaming 5 hours. We'll see how this Kick works out. We might be on Kick a lot more going forward. Sean Diddy Combs sentenced to 4 years in prison.
Breaking news in Lower Manhattan, where Sean Combs was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison. With time served, it will be a shorter time.
We have team coverage on this story as well.
About 3 years.
Reporter Kimberly Richardson, who is outside of the court. Kimberly.
Yes, and people gathered out.
They're probably getting out in about 2.5.
This sentence. Sean Combs sentenced to 4 years, 2 months in prison. Of course, that will also include taking off the 13 months that he has already served in jail in Brooklyn. He will also be followed by 5 years of supervised release and have to pay a $500,000 fine. That is the maximum.
That's all?
This sentence is far less than what the prosecution wanted. That group wanted a sentence of at least 11 years behind bars. The defense wanted far.
I bet Trump pardons him.
Months. Again, he has already served 13 months. Sean.
Oh my God, look at the picture of him over here. Courtroom artist lately.
Spoke this afternoon. It was the first time that we heard from him at length since this trial started. The 8-week trial started. He spoke for about 12 minutes. He told the judge that he had lost respect for myself. He had lost respect, that he had been humbled and broken to his core. He said that he hated himself right now, that he had been stripped down to nothing. He apologized to his children, telling his mother also, who's been here in the courtroom since the very beginning, that, quote, "You taught me better." He then asked the judge for mercy. He said he begged the honor for mercy. He said if he'd given him a second chance, I wouldn't let him down, that he took full responsibility for...
Jamie, welcome in.
Again, the judge not buying that, taking a sentence somewhere in between what the prosecution and the defense wanted.
Do it now, Jamie.
Who opened this entire can of worms. Combs former...
I ain't contacting you on Discord. Do it right now. Promote me right now. All across the Kick. Yeah, I like many more viewers, Short Bus. We want more viewers, Short Bus. Light one up, tip one back, bitches. Just because it's the bottom shelf doesn't mean I can just hit it. It's ironic. Literally every single car that pulled up behind her.
Her girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Oh my God.
She is a woman we saw in that video from the hotel in 2016 in Los Angeles. Prosecutors say she was trying to leave a so-called freak-off. Combs did not want that to happen, and he was beating and attacking her. This afternoon, just a few minutes ago, we had a statement from Cassie Ventura's attorney saying, quote, while nothing can undo the trauma caused by Combs, the sentence imposed recognizes the impact.
Oh, of course, it was an NYPD bus. Of course.
He committed. The judge today during sentencing at the end of the day also commending the women, Ventura and a woman who testified by the name of Jane, another one of Combs' exes, for their bravery in coming forward and telling the truth. We are waiting here.
Listen, we watched P. Diddy one night for Live Music Monday.
Combs' family, his children, his mother.
He sucked.
Many supported.
It was everybody that was with him made that concert good.
Back to you.
Flash, welcome in, friend.
Okay, Kimberly, thank you. Well, now we want to go to Darla Miles, who was in the courtroom.
Because, like, it wasn't a lot of
Darla,
Puffy, you know, it was like Mace and I can't remember who else was with him, but they were all like, you know,
quietest verdict
the stars, anonymously.
The courtroom was still. And I'm going to tell you why. This day has been such an emotional roller coaster. It's been so dense with 5 of Combs' attorneys speaking, 2 civilians speaking.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of top news, and then we're going to put it on my watch later that I've not cleaned out in like 8 months.
And you could kind of hear the direction it was going. Combs was.
And we're gonna get a good mix of like
seat, and you could see that he was
crazy shit. No, Warlord, we got an explosion.
Making that emotional statement. I want to tell you, it started earlier in the day. He started crying. He was
Man, those Crown Vics were awesome.
His children spoke. His 3 girls cried the entire time. They begged the judge to please give me my father back. My father is a changed man. I've already missed.
Byronic nailed it.
My little sister to grow up without a parent. That's speaking of
how long did you make it into the stream last night, Byronic? You did not make it to Taylor Swift, did you? Because Thread asked me, like, how many of the 20 people in your chat right now have fallen asleep? And I was like, Byronic for sure.
And he kind of felt deflated and fell back in his seat. After that, they showed that emotional video that we've been talking about, and it was almost like his life was flashing before his face, and he sat back in his chair. You could see he was trying.
I'm gonna admit the Taylor Swift album probably better than I expected.
Like this, his face in his hand.
I mean, I had a low bar, but better than I expected.
Down his face, and at some point, you could see his body shaking.
Yeah, it was a horny posting album.
Crying, just with his head in his hands. He was.
Well, that one song was like, that's what makes my thighs separate or something was the lyrics.
And that's when
I was like, what?
Stood up and he made comments. He cracked, his voice cracked. That was really poignant.
Oh, don't apologize. Don't apologize at all.
Kimberly reported, he said, he turned to his...
The key that opened my thighs. Okay, there we go.
Said,
Flash was paying a lot better attention than I was.
He really got the most emotional when he turned to his mother. He held his head in his hand. He's just like, Mom, I just failed you. I failed my mother.
Well, then apparently that one song is a diss track at Charlie XCX.
All of this day, this emotionally...
I don't like that. I stand Charlie XCX.
So when the verdict was read, and you could see that Judge Arun Submaranian was saying, this warrants a significant sentence, that he cannot...
You're not my supervisor!
...deeds by good deeds, and that this is the requirement per the statute.
Oh, God, that episode last night, Byronic. That's the one where Barry is choking her. Like Barry cons her into taking him back to the safe house.
Always say, I don't care what
he puts his hands around her neck, she's into it.
Quiet. So that was expected.
And he chokes her out.
No one making any outbursts. But what was not expected was there was no facial expressions. His children.
Apparently, okay, so
Combs, there had no facial expression, no reaction after being.
Now we're talking about everything but Combs. I just have it up in the background. I'm sorry. Apparently, the father figure song, she did actually give a writing credit to George Michael. The official Instagram account for George Michael Entertainment posted on October 2nd, "Thank you, Taylor Swift, for including George in such a special moment. When we heard the track, we had no hesitation in agreeing to its association between two great artists, and we know George would have felt the same." But other than like that, like just the way she says father figure, like the song didn't sound anything like the George Michael song. But hey, cool. If that gets George Michael back into the national consciousness, I'm totally for it because I'm a big George Michael stan.
Emotionally depleted after really pretty much begging for his freedom.
I will say, if you like Taylor Swift, Byronic, or if you're okay with her, I would think it's one of her catchier albums, I guess.
Inside the courtroom again, Sean Diddy Combs.
I gave it a
2 months. Darla, talk a little bit more about just the family.
I gave it a light 6.
Even after the initial verdict, you were saying that their faces were blank, but was there a moment that that you could feel the emotion between Sean Combs and the family when he had to leave the courtroom? Can you?
I think Taylor is generic and bland all the time.
So absolutely. So
I don't.
We see Sean Combs at the end of any of these proceedings during the day. He will turn. He will give hard hands to his fans.
I think that was the one that I thought was the best, right? But I also like that Elizabeth Taylor one.
He didn't have much to say. He really didn't address his family. He kind of nodded his head and went directly back.
I did notice as we were listening to New Music Friday after Taylor Swift, we may be in an era where music is foregoing bass.
He was deflated.
A lot of the songs don't really have strong baselines.
He spent 4 hours fighting for his life. His children were so impactful. The girls.
I'm sorry, fuck P. Diddy.
They even
sentenced to 4 years and time served, so he's probably going to be getting out in about 2.5 years if Trump doesn't pardon him.
Right before we broke for lunch today, where a lot of watchers in the court thought that might move the needle on the sentencing, but
it's a very good possibility that Trump pardons the motherfucker.
We will not. Undervalue the victims who came forward in this case. That millions of victims of domestic violence would be inspired by the women who came forward in this case. He said the very powerful thing he said as he closed. He says, "I hope you do more with your second chance." And he said this court is adjourned. But after an emotional day, Sean Combs leaving deflated, depleted, no emotion, stone-faced after learning his fate after this extensive 8-week trial.
The courtroom, Darla, thank you so much. I know you put a lot of time and work and effort into all
Okay,
of
there's apparently this video that Diddy played in the courtroom for the judge. We're going to go to it.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and you are once again taking a live look over New York. This is coming in from Fox 5 New York as we had all of these different live images outside.
Yeah, I don't, Byronic, that sums up my feelings.
Sentenced to 50 months behind bars. And at this point, we know that an appeal is imminent. But one thing that Michael Babcock with TMZ was just talking about is this video that was played during the sentencing hearing.
This was played during the sentencing hearing for Diddy earlier today.
I do want to play it for you for the first time on Live Now from Fox.
What you've given to the world, I don't think you know, man.
You gotta give her a bottle then.
Know that you mean something to people. Know that you mean something to people. Like you live somewhere in people's heart.
My nose fell off. No, then my lip fell off. Thank you. You wear it?
Are these his kids?
Energized, and you've left
Raven, welcome in.
The existence of this planet, man.
Justin will be back on Twitch in like a week and something.
They make you want to do better and be better.
Oh, it's Fuzzy Simba. Welcome.
And he made me feel like I could do anything and go anywhere.
You were cheering me on about showing Charlie Kirk.
The city of New York. I love the children of New York. I wanted to do something good. I wanted to get my generation in the hip-hop community behind us. They come through in a big way. And we wanted to raise some money for the children of New York.
This is supposed to make him look good.
We have a huge education crisis. And, you know, this is just a start. It's something we're going to be committed to. I'm going to be committed to for a lifetime. And it's no better way than taking it to the streets. It's a beautiful city running all around. The city's going to be painful. It's going to be rough. But, you know, if we get through it, then it'll show kids and everybody else that...
Georgie, welcome in.
And you can do anything you put your mind to. Any of y'all go to public school?
Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome, guys. If you didn't hear what we're doing, we're going to do a little bit of top news.
Books and computers and stuff.
And then we're going to hit my watch later.
That us, you know, young adults of power.
I've got like 8 months of stories that
Utilize our power.
I bookmarked but didn't make it to the show.
Put everything you can into your work, you know.
So we're going to watch some interesting shit tonight.
Not to do your work.
But this was shown in court earlier today.
And to talk.
MFA, welcome in.
Protect your future.
What did you learn about him as a man who was taking up a new sport?
Libertad, Jimmy Seville, the famed pedophile.
Very impressed. You know, a lot of people think it's just a celebrity stunt, that he isn't serious about his running. He is as serious about his running, has been the last 9 weeks, as a lot of these guys in the lead pack. I mean, he's really devoted and dedicated himself to running. You know, he's had some knee problems, and a lot of people don't think he's going to finish. He is going to finish, even if he has to do it on one leg, because he's raised a lot of money for kids' charities, and he's not going to let all those people down.
Jimmy Seville raised a lot of money for kids' charities.
Let's go.
Where we going? We going straight to the top, baby. Let's go is a constant reminder. Let's go. Boom. Live in the present. Sometimes, you know, you daydreaming. Sometimes, you know, Uncle Diddy got to hit you with let's go. Clap it up on the sideline. Let's get our energy.
Sometimes Uncle Diddy got to hit you with a hand down the front of your pants.
That you staying focused. Let's go. Let's keep going forward. Let's go means let's be positive. Let's take it up another notch.
Remember, let's put this in context. This was a video Diddy played for the judge.
You know, let's turn
on his behalf.
Let's stop procrastinating. Let's go.
Before sentencing.
Let's understand what it's going to take to achieve that dream. So
you're exactly right. There's people out there that virtue signal in order to hide how horrible they are.
Things we never wore, cars we never drove, houses we never lived in. I think I brought an aspiration to hip-hop. Tried to take it out of just being street.
I mean, you can't blame it's Diddy trying to humanize Diddy to the judge. Yeah, I would have added 10 years extra for this shit. But the prosecution was asking for 14.
I come from New York. I grew up in Harlem. I used to have to wear a uniform every day.
He got 4.
Had to get up.
Time served.
And had to travel to go to school. I worked hard, just like you guys are working. This country and this world we live in may have planned for y'all. I didn't listen to that, and I don't want y'all to listen to it either.
Probably time served, Flash.
Y'all are kings. Y'all are queens. Y'all are leaders.
Is there a mandatory minimum for a federal charge?
I'm so excited because this is truly a dream come true for me.
Oh, Torchy, I didn't even think about that.
This is our 3rd school. We have opened this official.
This is a video Trump can point to. See how good Diddy is.
As a people, nothing can stop us.
I would not doubt he gets pardoned.
But what I want to do with my freedom is, you know, make sure that I can make change.
And I found out that Mr. Sean Diddy Combs posted me on Instagram.
We met Sean Diddy Combs.
You're exactly right, Byronic.
Gave Trey a $25,000 grant, which
politically welcome in
a physical store.
Some of the biggest abusers and monsters in the world are also well-liked, popular, and appear to be very good people in terms of charity and public actions. And that's for a fucking reason.
Something that we can control our narrative and we could speak about things that are
a Biden mass pardon.
We could have a platform and a foundation to be free. But I want to get advice from y'all. I want to not just have a one-way conversation.
We need a platform where they can put artists that are.
How long is this fucking video?
We can get a shot on other stations.
Working for Revolt TV and working for Diddy was absolutely life-changing. It was the best job I've ever had.
I'm sure there are some people that can speak openly about how Diddy changed their life.
It seems like we can't solve the problems within our own community. African American.
Apparently, I didn't know this until like a couple years ago. He might have killed Notorious B.I.G. And then used him. That fucking song was huge. That I'll Be Missing You that stole from Sting and then they had to credit him and shit.
But I'm gonna make it. You gonna make it, that's right. And I got something for you. Remember I told you I had
that apparently Biggie never liked him.
This is a heart, because you're my heart.
He could have been in on killing Tupac.
My heart.
Okay.
Curiouser thinks he killed Prince.
And keep you happy and keep you thinking positive.
Because apparently Prince went to one of his parties one time and then shut that shit down.
Person understands reality.
And scolded him, and they had a fucking a huge fallout over it.
Great, girl. You doing great.
God, no.
You know what I'm saying? You doing
so I don't even know what to fucking believe anymore.
We got a lot of living to do now. We got a lot of living to do. Don't have me come behind me. I'll be taking you everywhere. You be going everywhere.
You hang out together.
Okay,
when you were a little boy.
I mean, I don't want to put stock in conspiracy theories.
Thank you very much.
But I looked it up, and apparently Biggie did not like him.
Meeting you and also telling you did a great job at the same time.
That means a lot.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'd rather at the end of the day be the one standing there with you was the best person. You made us feel the best as a person.
Oregon Gal, welcome in. Yeah, he still pays royalties to Sting, but Sting had to sue for that. Like, that wasn't like an open collaboration or anything, and then they ended up performing together at like the MTV Music Video Awards.
Wash your hands, 'cause we gonna be shucking it up.
You're right. Little gang activities are conspiracies.
Yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, God.
I like Biggie a lot more looking back on it, because I never did like the East Coast rappers. I was very West Coast.
And my girlfriend Kim in the world.
I was very much a Dre, Tupac, Snoop Dogg. It's not gonna end. The entire YouTube video from Fox is 20 minutes. Okay, this video isn't the whole thing.
We have breaking news to tell you about now. Model and actress Kim Porter, who
I think it goes on for like another minute or two.
Combs, has been found dead.
She just loved me unconditionally.
Well, this is not Fox News. This is the Fox Live Now service for like local Fox affiliates. Warlord's been wanting to get to the explosion. A Chevron factory in Southern California. This is pretty much the two things that we're doing tonight. Diddy and then this explosion. Then we're going to hit my watch later. The gas refinery. So this was a Chevron.
And we'd like to welcome our viewers on CBS Channel 2 at 11 o'clock, and we are still on KCAL 9. We begin with breaking news at this hour, an explosion at a Chevron refinery in El Segundo. People who live nearby are describing the moment of impact. Felt like an earthquake.
And this is what the fire looked like during the 9 o'clock hour. The flames so large, our Desmond Shaw in SkyCal could see them all the way from the Sepulveda Pass.
Okay, let's get right to Desmond. He is live in SkyCal right now. Well, Des, looks like a...
Oh, this cannot be good.
Well, yeah, you know, Pat and Rudy, I mean, I was hoping to come to you with some better news this hour. Oh, my goodness, all of a sudden, this fire has reignited, and it looks very
This was last night.
Right
You're
around
not live.
5 or so, this had begun to. There was no fire here. I mean, we know we showed you earlier, but then it seemed like they started flaring off of this other stack over here, the secondary one here. This one has always been going, but then not long after that one began flaring, this fire was out, and now just within the last couple of minutes, it has reignited again, and it looks really pretty awful. I mean, I can't tell. It doesn't look to be controlled to me, certainly not in the way that those stacks are over to the left that I was just showing you. So we've been watching this hook and ladder, which as I zoom in and I'm going to double in, I'm not even sure that there's a firefighter up here. This might be like, it looks like it might be remote, you know, to keep firefighters away as far as possible. But they're spraying this.
Yeah, because who knows what the fuck fumes those are.
I tried measuring it here. Here, we'll kind of try it again and see what it says. Yeah, a little more than 150 feet. You see that high pressure line that's just been trying to kind of cool all of this down. And it seemed like it was having a really big effect. And now all of a sudden we're seeing this really, really intense fire.
Yeah, I almost came back on for this last night.
Just look at all of that pollution that is coming out now onto the.
I also got a couple of police chases that happened last night.
This ominous black plume right in here.
While we were doing Taylor Swift.
Who knows what else. It's
all kinds of news was going on.
For air quality. So, you know, not entirely sure what is happening here. What certainly seemed like it was under control just a few moments ago. Kind of hard to say that now, Pat Rudabay.
You wonder, you don't think that that's happening on purpose? I know I heard earlier reports about them having their...
Ironic, have you seen the Chernobyl miniseries on HBO?
I heard that they were going to just sort of let this burn.
I laugh at horror movies.
Is this something that
Chernobyl miniseries, that is true horror.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I thought, you know, I kind of thought that's what was happening over here with these right here, these big burn-offs that were going off, but it just looked so sudden and and intense looking that it's kind of hard to say. And we know that this was
that's the kind of thing I get my horror
that
from.
explosion was
like real live dramatic events
all
that could have ended the world.
It's kind of hard to say. It may be possible. It is definitely true with a lot of these refinery fires that they do just kind of have to burn themselves out. And obviously there is nothing but a ton of fuel in this facility. That's obviously what all of this is. So this could be burning for a very long time. It might die down again. Maybe it's something that's going to erupt and then die down and erupt again throughout the night. But
definitely normal and fun afterwards.
That is for sure. I know that there was, talk about the people were asking about traffic.
Oh, them having to go down into the basement.
Show you right down in here. This is
into the water
and Rosecrans, a very
dark
intersection, which is partially shut down right now. It looks like by El Segundo PD to give plenty of room for the all the personnel to come and go from the scene, but we'll just kind of have to see.
And then when the robot failed,
very intense-looking fireball.
And then what was it? They decided you could go out there for like less than 7 minutes or something like that. They were trying to knock all the fucking nuclear shit off the roof.
Hi there, yeah, Ruta from East El Segundo Boulevard, and as you were hearing, I mean, we can see the smoke.
That is why I do not believe capitalists should be
reignited. I actually just spoke to some
trusted with nuclear facilities.
That they could see this from miles and miles away. The photo they showed me was from 10 to 15 miles away, but you could just see that fireball.
Because in America, if that happened,
over our shoulder here,
capitalists aren't gonna be
videos. Of course, people are being asked to avoid this area because
we're not just gonna like throw. There's not people that are gonna be like,
another young man,
I'm gonna do it for the country and go and fucking subject themselves to fucking nuclear explosion or exposure to fucking knock nuclear materials off the roof because the robot couldn't do it.
Hear him describe it in his own words. Take a listen to what he said when this all unfolded.
I was at the gym.
Basically, a still blew up is what Flash is saying.
I was told I had to evacuate all of a sudden, and
I'm so thirsty. I have to go get some tea.
Blast.
And then we're gonna smoke some weed.
I don't know. I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I was like, holy crap, this is, I mean, they do like these kind of like controlled flames, like fire a lot of times, but this time it was like clearly like actually like a lot taller, like hundreds of feet tall, and the gas was like I couldn't smell anything, so I just started like. It just started getting really hard to breathe all of a sudden.
All right, we want to show you that video. This is what he took on his cell phone the minutes he walked out of that gym. You can see just how intense those flames are. He told me he could even at one point feel the heat of those flames. That is how close he was. He said, of course, he was fearing for his life. He got out of there as quickly as he could. But as you were watching him talk to us there from his apartment, you can still see that flare up behind him in the background. And then obviously him taking those videos, giving us just a clearer perspective of just how intense those flames are. Back out here live, we want to show you again that flare up that appears to be happening as people are pulling over on the side of the road here at East El Segundo Boulevard and trying to get a look of it themselves.
I like her outfit.
Officials and first responders are, of course, telling people to avoid doing that if you can. Obviously, we're out here just trying to...
don't come out here and gawk.
We feel is so critical, but if you can avoid the area and you don't have to be here, this pulling over on the
There's
side
makeup I need in there.
your car and trying to take these videos. We've also been seeing those first responders and firefighters driving by. That's just another factor here, Pat and Rutabaga, to think about.
Pat and Rutabaga.
To see this kind of unfold in another way. Obviously, that explosion.
I'm in some kind of a mood tonight.
Active scene, so always a good reminder here to stay out.
I got a free gram at the new store that just opened up.
Very good advice, and
we're gonna try that out.
For that descriptive.
I should probably go ahead and try that.
And now we want to bring in Ed Wolfman. He's a Manhattan Beach resident. Ed
Wolfman.
What you heard and what you saw.
Yeah, it was about maybe an hour and a half ago, and we had some friends over, and we were having dinner, and then there was a big boom, and we just assumed that it was
boom, shalak lock boom.
Figured it was, although we didn't feel the ground shaking, so we were a little puzzled.
Well, I asked them if they took card, and they did not. They said they're not set up for card yet.
The beach area, and said,
and I was like, oh, I was going to try you out. And he's like, well, here, I'll give you a gram. Try us out.
what she thought.
Because it was their grand opening is tomorrow. I wished them luck.
Said there's smoke coming in from the Chevron fire. And he sent...
All right, let's go. This is the main event here tonight. This is going to be the fun time. You guys have veto power. You can tell me what to skip. So it goes back 6 months. This is my watch later. This is how... Holiday, good evening. This goes back 6 months. This is my watch later. This is how I bookmark the stuff that you're going to see on the Troll Patrol. At least on YouTube. I get shit from multiple sources. It's predominantly Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I also will I will open the this Microsoft browser sometimes, and there's this, section here. I will pull stories from here sometimes as well. Those are my usual sources. So this is my reservoir of videos that I play on the Troll Patrol. It goes back 6 months. These are videos that we probably haven't watched, or we might have watched a different version. Rapper Lil Yachty says Black Lives Matter was a scam. Violent cell phone video between middle schoolers. Miami Beach officer rescued after being swept out to sea. So all kinds of fun shit. There's 836 videos. You can see right above my camera there. 836 videos updated today because I'm constantly updating it. So let's put it on shuffle and see what we got.
Police are investigating a wild chain of events with a crash on the 134 freeway, suspects on the run, and then a police shooting in a nearby neighborhood. Police still searching for...
Oh, we totally watched this. She got off.
Weekdays is live with this wild...
Those charges have been dropped against her. The wife of the bassist for Weezer.
Hi there, Court and Micah. And yes, the investigation into the officer-involved shooting continues behind me here.
But this was a wild story.
Meantime, police tell us that they believe they have the driver involved in that hit-and-run crash behind bars tonight, but are still looking for his 2 passengers who also fled the scene.
She came out into her front yard.
A man was taken into custody.
And apparently, they were...
Following a bizarre chain of events, his fellow suspects still on the run. Police say it all began around...
And one dude went into somebody's backyard, was just acting like he was watering the grass or some shit.
Authorities tell us 3 men from one of the cars fled the scene into the neighborhood. A brother and sister traveling down the freeway say they saw one of the suspects walking away.
I saw a gentleman walking on the shoulder, and so my brother and I went over and assumed that he was leaving the scene of an accident.
The 2 chased after him.
He tried to run to the opposite side of the freeway. He fell. He was bleeding from his head, his mouth, his knees.
Despite his injuries, they say he still
bleeding from his eyes or wherever.
And run down an embankment.
I chased him down the side of the freeway, across the freeway, over a couple of fences, and then he had a bag and a sweater. I got his bag, I got his sweater, and me being so old, I couldn't keep up with the guy.
Oh my God, this shit smells amazing.
They told police who eventually caught up with the man on Waldo Place off Eagle Vista Drive. The suspect apparently stripped down to his boxers and tried to blend into the neighborhood by watering plants and swimming in a pool.
See, I told you.
Officials tell us as officers were setting up a perimeter in the area and searching for more suspects. A woman came out of her residence on Eagle Vista Drive armed with a gun. They say officers fired at the armed woman, injuring her in the shoulder.
Yes.
She, along with her child's babysitter, can be seen complying with officers.
They shot her in the shoulder. She's the wife of the bassist for Weezer.
And concluded she was the homeowner and not a suspect. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and her
it looks beautiful too.
Released. And we're told that a woman in another car from that original crash scene had to be taken to the hospital with moderate injuries. For now, reporting live here in Eagle Rock, Mary Beth McDade will send it back to you guys in the studio.
MB, thank you.
Yeah, we just watched a different version of that video, I guess. Ah, fuck. Am I going to have to hit play on everyone? May have to switch browsers. Space weather news.
Good morning, folks. Welcome, observers. Today we've got a look at solar activity. We'll see a solid paper on magnetic crochet, solar flare, ionospheric impact, and since about a bajillion of you are asking for the magnetic pole tracker on the government website, I'll repost that today as well. We're starting with the last 24
I feel like this is some kind of conspiracy. This is something Dave would be watching.
Wanting to boil and only having those first few bubbles coming up to the surface. We are crackling, small flares. There's filament destabilizations, especially on the north. The sun should be ramping up over the next few weeks for the Rigel cycle uptick, but for now,
the Rigel cycle uptick?
Moderate flare risk. They could be bigger, definitely could be more complex.
Damn, they gave me more than a
grand. Are departing on the south. For the next couple of days,
nice.
The primary alert will be from the plasma filaments and the solar wind enhancement from the southern coronal hole, the big dark patch. None of it is expected to provide severe space weather. So, folks, we often go over the ionospheric impact.
I was going to do a freak show last night. Media Winch would tell you that
the weather
we were gearing up to do a freak show, and then I remembered.
A faster way, where the sun...
I don't have a graphics for the freak show. There's no, like, I can't change to the freak show look.
This study looked at the Mother
I deleted
Solar
it.
Storm sequence, which began exactly 11 months ago.
Warlord says skip. I got to change browsers so that we just autoplay. We're going to Google. Are we still in Shovel?
April is Donate Life Month. While our state has one of the highest rates of organ donors in the country, with 62% of people registered, nearly 2,000 Coloradans are still on the waiting list for a transplant.
Across the country, more than 100,000 people are waiting for a transplant. This is a cause that hits home for me. My father-in-law was on the heart transplant list for several years. Tonight, your reporter in Boulder, Sarah.
There's also the possibility that these didn't make the cut because they just weren't good videos.
Yeah, Julia Renz is a junior at CU right now, but growing up, she spent a lot of time at this hospital, and a good portion of that waiting for her own heart transplant. Now she's working to spread awareness for others.
This seems heartwarming,
Boulder, Julia Renz is finishing up a busy year as a triple major on the honor roll.
I go to my lab, I run my operant behavioral experiments, I go to class, neuroscience club.
She kind of looks like Blossom.
Club.
That last one closest to her heart.
Being someone who they can,
her heart,
connect with, who is their peer, it really helped, solidify the importance of organ donation to a lot of people.
Julia was born with an enlarged heart, needing a transplant at just 4 years old.
I remember
a heart transplant at 4 years old?
But 13 years later, her body started rejecting that heart.
Oh, God.
Back to the hospital.
For my second transplant, I remember every detail of that. I remember the struggle.
We're giving her medicine.
Eventually, finding a second match with nurse Christine Reed standing by her side through that journey.
When she got her second offer,
no child should have to go through 2 heart transplants.
And you just want to harness that for every patient.
And she's hoping more people consider becoming donors to help some of the thousands of patients like Julia.
That energy is infectious. And so it's very inspiring to see her have gone through something so difficult, not once, but twice. And she's living her dream.
And part of that dream includes sharing her story alongside goals of a PhD in neuroscience and leading with her heart.
If I
lung
transplant, is today the day I wake up with rejection, I'd never get anything done. Instead, I just go in with a mindset of what can I do today? How can I make the world a little bit of a better place today?
Julia really is doing it all, and her organ donation club actually just recently made blankets for the Children's Hospital here. Both Julia and the hospital also emphasized today.
Well, I'm sad I didn't play that video whenever
families in these
I
situations
bookmarked it
They go
originally.
through these tough periods of time to help so many.
Sarah,
The reason they didn't make the cut was because of depression. Some of them, I would say. A sneaker store hit by a group of robbers 3 times in 1 month. YouTube sucks. Maybe I should just go back to hitting play on them individually. It works better that way.
Before, a group of robbers target a store, getting away with thousands of dollars worth of merchandise.
One business says it's happened to them multiple times. And Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez takes us there.
We have Bathing Ape, we have essentials, spider merch, very expensive merchandise.
And that's exactly what a group of thieves had
Spider
their eyes
merch?
on. Not to buy, but to bag. On Wednesday, surveillance cameras captured a chaotic smash and grab inside
That
Ryan
doesn't seem to
Figueroa's
be the most efficient way to
Galleria
do that.
Montclair, a high-end sneaker and leisure wear boutique tucked inside the Montclair Place Mall. A crew of 9 swarmed the store in a hit that was as bold as it was sloppy, with thieves smashing, grabbing, and stumbling out the door.
They sent 2 people in, and then they see, it's working, and then the 3, and then the 4, and then the 5, and then they give them the go. All 9 of them run in. They had at least 2 or 3 getaway drivers, different vehicles each time.
But they sucked at it.
Found.
Another angle captured on cell phone video shows the suspects stumbling over merchandise in their rush to escape, tripping over the very items they came to steal.
They just destroyed the whole store, and this last time we're looking at least $10,000 to $20,000 worth of damages.
This isn't their first fashion heist. Higuera says it's the 3rd hit on his store in a month, and he's convinced it's the same crew every time.
This crew's out of LA. The time before this time, they all came in with ski masks.
It said it was April.
Nobody came in with a ski mask.
These surveillance images were given to the Montclair Police Department as
Goddamn warlord with his backwards.
They are trying to determine if this group is connected to the previous
dates.
incident. So far, no arrests have been made. And for Higuera, it's not just about stolen merchandise anymore. He and an employee were assaulted.
Read the date right, Britt.
incidents. And now he's wondering how far this crew will go.
I saw something on the news this morning of a store owner who got ran over and killed for defending his merchandise.
Everybody has veto power, by the way.
A Michigan man is now convicted of threatening to shoot former Chicago Mayor Lori
veto
Lightfoot. William
whatever
Coles
video we're on.
found guilty today of sending that death threat to Lightfoot back in 2022, saying he had a, quote, bullet with her name on it. The conviction coming down shortly after the former mayor herself testified against the man for a second time. And in a statement, Lori Lightfoot saying tonight, quote, the verdict is a relief, but it doesn't erase the fact that this defendant and way too many others of his ilk think it is open season to threaten the lives of those in public service. This has to stop.
Watch breaking.
Yeah, violent leftist, right?
Subscribe to ABC 7 Chicago Eyewitness News.
I wonder why Lori Lightfoot
Then a
might get
frightening
threats
hit-and-run
against her.
crash in South LA sends a teenage boy to the hospital when an out-of-control car jumps the curb and slams right into him.
That boy is recovering now at home, but his family is demanding justice. They want to know if the crash was intentional.
Demanding
and
justice.
why the driver left the scene. Carlos Saucedo.
Everyone's demanding Justin.
He joins us live from Pico Union. Carlos.
Michael Scher, the CHP has been investigating this hit and run for a week now, but so far no arrests have been made. Tonight I spoke with the victim's father, who tells me he wants the driver to do the right thing and turn himself in.
How much more content can I give you?
A disturbing
on like 5 hours a day.
A teenager gets knocked out of his bike, thrown against a fence after getting struck by a vehicle. The teen slowly gets up and starts recording the getaway driver as bystanders start chasing after. The incident happened Monday, April 7th, as the 15-year-old was riding his bike on the sidewalk along the 2100 block.
This is the bowl of the stuff that I got for free at the new store that's having their grand opening tomorrow.
To a hospital. Thank God.
They gave me a free gram. We're gonna try it out.
Stitches in his mouth.
It smells awesome. It looks really
Carrillo's
pretty.
son Sebastian is seen in an ambulance following the hit and run. He got 8 stitches on his mouth and is having trouble communicating.
Ow! He just remembers coming from school and seeing the car going towards him, and then he just grabs on, and he said adrenaline rush. He got up, got his phone, and recorded the video.
Eric believes his son was targeted, but did nothing to provoke the driver. The CHP is investigating and has not ruled out the possibility of it being intentional as a car hopped the curb. The vehicle is a black 2025 BMW.
Frustrated seeing my son at home, not want to go outside, just
I mean, it looked like the car was
no justice. Nobody has been arrested.
Coming for him.
Nothing. I just want justice for my son. That's a 15-year-old.
Boom.
For this to happen, he doesn't even want to go to school no more. It's sad. I don't know what kind of driver it's out there hitting people in bikes.
There are people on the identity that say the most important thing that we have is our identity. It is more important than our
The War Room with James Carville
humanity.
and Al Hunt.
I can't really understand these people, but they believe that the highest title you can have is your pronoun. There are other people, myself included, that thinks the highest title that you can have is your citizen. Well, thank you. And
some casual transphobia there.
Listening or viewing in, I want to take a few minutes to have a little bit more of a serious conversation, an internal conversation.
I don't think you're a serious man.
On our side of the equation. I've long believed that being a Democrat means that you're part of a coalition, and that in a coalition...
Tales from the Crypt could be one of the things that plays later on tonight when we get like just a complete hodgepodge.
Along what other people say, and that...
Yeah, I didn't have warning.
A successful...
I didn't have warning thread. Welcome in.
Party is to understand the coalition is in a party.
Yeah, Thread doesn't know what's going on. We're doing... This is my watch later playlist. This is videos that didn't make the Troll Patrol.
And the hope of some people, myself included...
And you can tell me to skip, and I think we are going to skip goddamn
just also
James Carville. A Russian attack on a Ukrainian deli.
Люди бігти голова пробита, раненые начали идти. Мы выскочили помогать им. Слева со стороны девушка несла 2 детей. Ну, мальчик там, по-моему, был маленький, в районе годика. А девочка, лет 7. Девочка была ранена в районе ключицы.
Talking about a woman that had a small girl and a small boy outside of the shop.
Уже там некоторые помогали машину остановить.
The girl had to be taken to the hospital.
Везти в больницу.
I saw that the girl was not well, helped her load her in.
Я поехала с той
I went with that girl at the moment when we got in, loaded the children.
Погрузили, зашла в бус, я держала девочку. И когда коллега закрыла дверь,
I was holding the girl as soon as my colleague closed the door and we started to drive. The second explosion happened.
3 заведующие.
3 people were seriously injured, the manager and 2 salespeople. There were also 2 other employees injured.
Небольшой, но перелом, и на лице посеченные осколками, стеклом.
The Lord, welcome in.
А вторая девочка чуть-чуть там порез, она больше морально пострадала, но она чуть-чуть просто, у нее место было такое, что к ней это все...
Yeah, there was one explosion, then a second that actually hit the store. That's what they went out and we were tending to a a mom and children that got injured in the first explosion.
Tonight, a couple is charged in a road rage incident in St. Louis County that ended in gunfire.
The victim told police the suspects followed him for miles. New at 10, 5 Interside's Robert Townsend has reaction from neighbors.
A man told police on March 30th he drove on I-64 near I-270 in St. Louis County when he passed a couple's car, cutting them off. Investigators say 26-year-old Torrance Triplett and 24-year-old Miracle Amerson then drove nearly 14 miles and followed the man to this Walgreens on North Lindbergh. The victim told police when the couple confronted him, he feared for his safety and drove off. That's when he said Triplett fired multiple shots into his car.
He's pissed.
I think it's pretty terrifying.
I think it's pretty, outrageous that somebody would drive that far just to shoot at somebody.
The driver wasn't hurt. He told police Amerson also had a gun. Investigators say she later admitted she waved a firearm at the victim and her boyfriend shot into the man's car. It happened down the street from the Hazelwood police station and across from the Elm Grove shopping center.
That's insane.
Karen Conn.
That's insane.
And Missouri Highway Patrol has a substation right there. It is mind-blowing. It's pretty sad, really. To have no.
So these are videos in my watch later that didn't make the Troll Patrol. Over the last 6 months.
Anybody innocent could have been hit,
We've got it on shuffle.
That's very concerning.
Prosecutors charged Triplett and Amerson with unlawful use of a weapon and armed criminal action. Police recovered a gun from the suspect's car. They say they also found a second gun and marijuana.
This is great content, Warlord.
Back in this neighborhood, big sighs of relief after hearing the driver survived.
He's real lucky.
Well, it could have been the other way. The car probably saved his life.
And tonight, Triplett and Amerson remain in jail. Both are being held on a $150,000 cash-only bond.
Breaking news right now. We are just learning about the passing of game show legend Wink Martindale.
Our entertainment guru George Pinocchio is live in the newsroom with the details. George.
All right, thank you. Wink Martindale was 91 years old. His career spanned more than 70 years. Wink got his first job when he was 17.
I don't even remember this happening.
Jockey at a radio station in his hometown of Jackson, Tennessee. Wink was a radio staple for years, but he also found a home on television, primarily as a well-known game show host.
Wink Martindale!
Thank you very much, Kenny Williams. Good morning, everybody. Wink Martindale was the
I will not let you disrespect Wink Martindale.
One of the versions of the popular Tic-Tac-Doe.
Once again, Ron on this show has nobody in the audience, so he needs some good advice from you good people out here.
And a later version of High Rollers.
When a cow stands up.
Smoke some of that weed and chill out. That's right, Oregon gal.
1959, and I've either produced or hosted 21 different game shows, and I've been a DJ all my life. So that sort of wraps up my career in 10 seconds.
Actually, there's plenty more. Wink was a pitchman, doing commercials for VW, Tylenol, and Budweiser.
Final question, ladies. How would you save the planet?
Before the commercials and the game shows, and long before he got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Wink was on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, number 7, for his 1959 spoken word song, Deck of Cards.
When I count the number of spots on a deck of cards, I find 365, the number of days in a year. There are 52 cards, the number of weeks in a year.
In those early years, Wink also showed us he could sing.
My baby satisfies me. She puts my mind at ease. When she tells me that I'm so easy to please.
As a TV host in Tennessee back in 1956, Wink interviewed Elvis.
This is quality content.
Dance party show.
Anytime you're in town and want to come by, we certainly will welcome you.
Well, thank you very much, Wink, and I'll see you again. Over the years in L.A., we saw Wink a lot. And as it turns out, this Wink always came with a smile. Martindale died in Rancho Mirage. He was surrounded by his family, including Sandy, his wife of 49 years. Flowers will be placed on his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today at 5 o'clock. Live in the newsroom, George Pinocchio, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
George Pinocchio?
camera, a pickup truck plows through an outdoor seating area at a Vancouver brewery before the driver is thrown from the truck.
Yeah, working out. I didn't know. That's why I really enjoyed that piece.
Doors are already
I didn't let Warlord skip it.
A quiet street, a violent crash, and a brand new dream nearly ruined.
Wow.
Shows the moment of impact. Vancouver police say a speeding truck slammed into a commercial building, clipping a pillar, ripping along a railing, and sending the driver flying just before 3 Tuesday morning.
You know, it's seen better days.
Mitch Montgomery walked me through the damage. He's co-owner of Irrelevant Beer, one of the 3 businesses hit in the crash at Main Street and McLaughlin.
I'm not going to swear on TV, but I was very concerned.
Mitch spent the day cleaning up. He says the window. You can still see the tire marks across the deck and even dented the building near the roof. Damage topping $20,000 at least.
Fortunately, I just paid for all this, so I know how much it costs.
Mitch and his team opened just 2 months ago, perfectly timed for the sunny days. But despite the caution tape,
thanks for coming down.
People rallied in full force to support this community staple.
We love to support them, and we're glad they're open and glad that, you know, hopefully this is just a small road bump and this place is packed in a couple of days.
Fortunately, the crash happened overnight, so no one else got hurt. But Mitch is working to add extra protections to make sure nothing like this.
It is amazing the driver survived that.
Property. It's 25 miles per hour on this road for a reason. There's businesses around. There's
that pole is going right through the driver's side. It is amazing that the dude survived that. Holy shit. Don't drink and drive, kiddos. Slow-mo replay.
Fortunately, the crash happened overnight, so no one else got hurt. But Mitch is working to add got hurt. So no one else got hurt. So no one else got hurt. But Mitch is working to add extra protections to make sure nothing like this happens again to people or his property.
It's 25 miles per hour on this road for a reason. There's businesses around, there's people, there's families.
Luckily, he got ejected.
Vancouver police don't think the driver was impaired, but Montgomery says they told him the man was uninsured and speeding with a suspended license. Tonight, we are still asking about charges.
But not impaired.
Welcome and thank you for joining
us. The Isaiah factor.
On Censored tonight, some people on social media.
It's always crazy when Isaiah's involved.
Being too preoccupied about her looks instead of her students. This video of her has gone viral. In it, she says she is, quote, that one teacher in school with main character energy. Some have also criticized her choice to wear a dress that loves on those hips like that. The teacher reportedly said she's competing
driving me crazy over here
while inadvertently
she looking
distracting
awesome.
male students.
Oh
Are these fair critiques, or is it not her fault that she's simply stacked like that?
It's not her fault she's stacked like that. And this should not be a news story on a fucking television station.
Wagner, glad to have you both here on The Factor. So, Janine, your thoughts about this? Is this too much? Is this just her body?
She brought it on herself for putting it on TikTok, I guess.
We should definitely care because the school environment has a lot of things going on that shouldn't be there. A lot of sex.
What do you guys think?
Drugs. I mean, things were happening in schools that we never would have imagined, right? Some women cannot control the way they're made, the way they're built, and no matter what they wear, you're going to be able to see those hips. However, in the school environment, there should be professionalism. And when I was a young teacher, I mean, she's young. I consider her age. You know, when you're younger, you're thinner. Sometimes you wear more tight things. But I had somebody to mentor me my first year of teaching. She kind of explained, you know, the rules aren't the same.
Probably lives at
for
TikTok.
Black teachers as they are for white teachers. So don't wear your arms out. And I was like, ooh, I didn't abide by everything she said, but she sets the tone. And so it's the principal's job to step in and talk with that teacher.
All right, Demetrius, as a parent, your thoughts about this, and we're looking at her there. with the stripes on.
Well, on the positive side, I don't think anybody's going to be skipping class.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have missed class.
Attendance dramatically goes up tonight at 10:30 on the factor.
Most definitely, most definitely. Now, I would have been in class, but I probably would not have been paying attention to the chalkboard, that's for sure. I definitely would have been locked in on the teacher. And, you know, like I said, that could be positive or it could be negative because maybe people weren't focusing on their classwork and they were more so interested in the teacher as a loving.
Now, as a parent,
listen, when you got horny kids, I was focused on teachers that weren't even dressed.
Enthusiastic about
like
attending class.
Revealing or...
One of his teachers.
I definitely had a teacher I wanted to be my GOP Molly.
And that he's actually absorbing the material. So any distraction to him learning is problematic.
Now, are what we're seeing now, that's the result of social media? Is that possible? Obviously, the teachers on social media showing off as well, but...
A federal agent shattered a car window to take a man into custody, and it was all caught on camera in New Bedford. Take a look at this video once again. The man's wife recorded the.
Well, here's the thing, Oregon gal.
And now
I feel like
criticizing ICE
teenage boys are running around with erections anyway.
On what went
It's
down.
just a thing that happens.
Juan Mendez's wife, Mary Lou, says when ICE vehicles began following their vehicle on Monday and then surrounded them here on Tallman Street in New Bedford, she took out her phone and started.
Like, you can't even help it. Your just dick be getting hard
an ICE
sometimes.
agent using a large hammer to break the back passenger window of
You'd be in math class, it'd be the most boring shit, but your dick's hard. They call you up to the board, and you're like,
in their building. Thinking this is a case of mistaken identity, Juan called his attorney, who told them to stay in the car and not give the agents any information until she got there. Their attorney tells NBC 10 Boston that Juan is a Guatemalan immigrant who's undocumented but in the process of changing his immigration status and has no criminal record. Mary Lou,
right, with the erection, use your erection to ride on the board.
their lawyer, the ICE agent smashed the car into the vehicle and dragged the couple out. Marilu didn't want to show her face, but she described the terrifying moments to us.
Also, T-Minus got me this shirt.
Hammer and they broke the car window.
He dropped it off with Media Winch, and she sent it to me.
My husband. They took us out unjustly. I tried to talk to
Weed California shirt. I love it.
They didn't respond or show me anything. They had no reason to detain him.
It was my Algebra 2 teacher,
we're doing
Miss Mills. I probably shouldn't say that.
Juan Mendez,
there are people from my hometown that watch the Troll Patrol occasionally.
In Dover, New Hampshire, and has a hearing on May 7th. ICE has not responded to our request.
My civics teacher, Miss Sloan, she was fucking hot.
NBC 10 Boston.
Alicia, thank you.
The Cook County State's Attorney's Office tells the I-Team tonight prosecutors have now approved charges of aggravated battery and hate crime against Adam Erkin. Prosecutors say he beat 2 Jewish students at DePaul late last year, leaving them with a concussion and broken wrist. Max Long and Michael Kaminsky feel a little bit safe.
All of them but one, and that's why I'm the way I am, Flash. I had a good civics teacher.
Sigh of relief knowing that one of the 2 violent perpetrators who went out of their way to attack 2 Jewish students, is now off the streets for the time being.
Prosecutors with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office
Matt Lick looking motherfucker.
Attacker, who's now locked up, is Adam Erkin. The 20-year-old man is charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery and 2 counts of hate crime against Max and Michael. November 6th, the pair of friends in DePaul.
Curb your anti-Semitism. Oh my God, this motherfucker's out here draped in the Israeli flag.
University Student Center advocating for conversation about the Israel-Hamas war when video shows the violent attack. 2 masked men beat and knocked the students to the ground.
Really felt exposed, isolated, and attacked physically and, and psychologically.
Now more
Let me go wrap myself in the flag of a country committing a genocide.
A 20-year-old
and wonder why people were upset with me.
That just proves that there was 5 months of looking over our shoulder every single day, and what Max and I continue to do, because we know that there's still another perpetrator out there.
Attorneys Jacqueline Clark and Gerard Felitti with the Lawfare Project are representing the pair in its lawsuit against DePaul University after the attack.
These are 2 individuals who were targeted on their campus simply for being Jewish, for advocating for the Jewish people. So they've been living in fear, and the fact that these 2 suspects have remained at large for over 5 months has certainly contributed greatly to that fear.
Now Max Long and Michael Kaminsky say their second assailant needs to be caught and charged, and the conversation on campus needs to change. Erkin is expected to appear before a Cook County judge on these charges for the first time tomorrow morning. Tonight, the I-Team has reached out to DePaul University for any comment on the arrest.
These motherfuckers right here, like, we gotta be looking over our shoulder as we're fucking going out, wrapping ourselves in the Israeli flag and yelling at people.
34-year-old Delphonte Diamond. He's convicted of sexually abusing their teenage daughter for several years after a jury found him guilty last week.
And he was an NFL trainer.
Best of the best NFL names like Tank Dell, CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, and Saquon Barkley. In 2022, he was charged with 2 counts of sexual assault on a child, 1 aggravated. The charges were then dropped, and it seems from our reporting, Diamond continued to train. This is an interview we did with him about Dell's career in 2023.
Anything you need in the receiver, he has.
In 2024, those charges were refiled. Kimberly Bryce Davis and Stephen Davis say their daughter was his victim.
He was molesting her and had been molesting her since 13 years old. It started with her joining his prayer line. That's what happened. She joined his prayer line.
His prayer line, of course.
Told some things that she did, and he used it over her head, basically like blackmail.
And as a mother, what was that like for you to find out?
It was heartbreaking. Especially, he was supposed to be family. He was married to my niece. So it was heartbreaking.
It's always somebody in the family. It's always a trusted coach, pastor.
You know, that's my baby girl, you know.
They found out about the abuse in 2022, which started 3 years earlier.
He would go up to the high school and pull her out of class. He's not on any of our paperwork.
And once they went to police,
we never seen or heard from him no more. When we're saying this is going on, he just like fled. We don't know where he went. We didn't see him again until it was the first court date.
after a 3-day trial, a jury convicted Diamond last week, and he was sentenced to 20 years on one count and 25 on the other to run concurrently.
The evidence was going to prove itself, and it did.
When I reached out to you, why did you decide to do this?
I feel like it's important to get it out. Everybody knows him for the good he does, right? For the godly, the trainer. But what about the real person?
Yep.
He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Same old story, same old song and dance.
Give him more time. Go tell someone. If it's happening to anyone, I feel like they need to tell someone.
Records show that Diamond has filed.
Technology, online.
Oh, God.
Journalist Taylor Lorenz is here to explain. All right. Try and explain this to me. You feel joy. Those are your words. So you felt joy over the murder of this father. No, those are the words.
We're talking about Charlie Kirk.
Shake your head all you want.
No.
We have the tape. We have the tape. And number one, then you go on to say, and people wonder why we want these executives dead. Then you posted an image of the Blue Cross CEO, Kim Keck. Now, let me ask you.
This is Luigi.
United Healthcare CEO being a father and a husband, don't you understand? And what part of you having a choice of what healthcare provider you choose to deal with or not do you not understand? Because you don't have to go with United. You don't have to go with Blue Cross.
You don't? Really?
So let me just be extra clear. Never did
Most states are monopolies, Hannity.
In his death. I said very explicitly, if you play the full segment, and actually people can watch that segment on my YouTube in full, not the edited version that Piers showed. I said that I felt joy, along with millions of other Americans, that the brutality of our healthcare system was finally being acknowledged. I believe that our current healthcare system is murderous, right? I mean, we have uninsured Americans with a 40% higher risk of death compared to insured counterparts. Nearly 70,000 Americans die
but that's
each
not
year
the topic.
due to lack of
Here, Flash. On
That's
TikTok.
not the topic. If you can talk about healthcare, I don't like the healthcare system either, and a lot of people have experienced frustration, like you're saying. That to me is separate and apart from the debate.
Yeah, if you get it from
praising, calling hands
from an employer, and your employer doesn't have a choice because there are
and assassination of innocent people, and that's
monopolies in most states.
You
only have one or two providers.
Your seal of approval on murder and assassination.
That's besides the point of what's going on in this interview.
Whether you like this guy, like the way he does business or not, you're advocating and putting a smiley face on assassination. And I'm trying to understand what is in your soul that doesn't understand he's a father and a husband here. What are you missing?
That's an emotive argument, by the way.
With you.
Sean, if you'd like to hear, I will need to talk in order to explain.
I don't want the
But as I've
rationalization. I want you to think about what you said. Explain
I know
what
exactly
you
what I
said.
said. Again, I'm attempting to right now, so I'd ask you to please give the space and try to listen here. As I said once again, never did I say I felt joy that this man died. I said again that I felt joy that millions of Americans or millions of really wealthy Americans and privileged Americans are forced to wake up to the reality that nearly 70,000 Americans die each year due to lack of health insurance. I do feel joyful that that is an issue that's being talked about.
Back to the healthcare debate. Why would any human being with a conscience and soul be joyful over an assassination of any person? Why would anybody be joyful over that?
Well, actually, that's a good question. Why don't I explain?
It's a great question.
The other clip that you played is not me saying my own beliefs. I have quite different beliefs from that. What I'm describing, and if you watch the full segment, not just the clip, you'll see that I'm describing the mentality of these fangirls that show up outside Luigi's court and show up outside his jail cell. Those girls are not me, okay? We have very separate belief systems. But I was describing how they believe. And now let me explain to you why.
Are you talking about Taylor Lorenz or Sean Hannity? Which one's the boomer?
And they feel outraged because, again, every penny of the $22 billion in profit made by United Health was made at the expense and suffering of others. And that is violence. Our healthcare system.
Kirk wasn't bad. I didn't see anybody celebrating Kirk.
People in the mainstream media, such as yourself, continue to refuse to acknowledge.
I mean, maybe a few crab dances and some
death and violence.
Twitch chats, but you guys do that about anybody.
Pardon?
There's a better way than saying that Luigi Mangione is a revolutionary who's famous, handsome, young, smart, and seems like he's a morally good man. If you want to have legitimate criticism, you could write an intelligent piece saying, here is what's wrong with America's healthcare system. Like, for example, I want healthcare savings accounts. I would like.
Yeah, but you would cheer like multiple people dying.
I believe in healthcare cooperatives. I know one that works. Josh Umber, Atlas MD, average person, 24-hour concierge care, $50 a month.
I'm sad I have to know who that dude is now.
Debate. But that's not how
he was absolutely instigating people
in ways that are sympathetic.
In their face yelling as they were peacefully protesting.
I'm describing
handsome, good looking. This is why people are happy and joyful.
I'm describing the belief system of his supporters, Sean.
Why don't you condemn them?
Hello?
Do you condemn? Will you say that anyone that praises this guy is lacking a soul, a conscience, and a heart? Do you agree with that statement?
Well, what I will say, Sean, once again, is that I believe in free speech.
I just asked you a very direct question. Will you say that anyone that's praised?
Wow, he has talked over her the entire time. I'm not the biggest Taylor Lorenz fan.
I don't believe in
I hate her either.
Religious things like souls and all of these things.
I'm not asking about religious. If you can't have
he has not been fair to her at all.
Husband, do you lack a conscience, a soul, and a heart? That's a simple question. You're a smart woman.
Well, let me respond to you, Sean. I believe that every one of the 70,000 Americans that die each year because of lack of health insurance also has a heart.
You're back to healthcare and not answering my question. I've done this 29 years, Taylor. Answer the question. If you think it's okay and you celebrate assassination, are you lacking a conscience, a soul?
She's not celebrating.
I think once again you're conflating me explaining the ideology of the women that
you
show
are trying
outside.
to rationalize them. If you support assassination, Taylor, answer the question. If you support assassination of innocent people, are you lacking a conscience, a soul, and a heart? Simple question. Go.
I believe that the assassination of innocent people, if we want to talk about the assassination of innocent people, I believe that the tens of thousands of Americans that die each year because of the lack of health insurance, that is, to me, a violence in itself. That is assassination. These health insurance.
I'm willing to have that discussion with you, but we can't have that discussion until you say
can't have a discussion when you're not willing to hear, Sean, what my beliefs are, and you continue
condemn people that have been committing acts of. Do you condemn the people that tried to assassinate Donald Trump, or would it be a good thing in your mind? Or would you understand why people want to kill him, or understand why people want to kill Elon Musk? Do you understand them too? Are they?
Sean, would you kill baby Hitler?
Well, so let me actually talk to you a little bit about that. So I cover violent extremism. I've witnessed violent extremism for many different factions, right, of the political system. If, for instance, somebody shows up and shoots an abortion provider dead, I want to understand their ideology. I'm a reporter. I want to understand their belief system, and I want to understand what led them there. Now, let me tell you something, because it's interesting you bring up the assassination of Donald Trump.
If you resort to violence and you kill innocent people,
but she hasn't,
are you lacking a conscience, soul, and a heart? What's so hard?
Well,
Why
so
can't
it's
you
really
answer that question?
Well, once again, when you talk about souls, that's not really my specialty. But what I do specialize in is extremism.
Obviously.
We are at a time right now.
By the way, I would say that's obvious.
Okay, thank you. Well, we are at a time right now when we're witnessing actually one of the biggest memes on the internet right now is about assassinating Trump and Elon. These are posts with millions of likes that are advocating for the assassination of the president.
Simple question. Do you condemn that? Can you take a moral stand and condemn that?
What I condemn is the violence of our system, and I would love for you to acknowledge that.
I'm not asking you to condemn the system. Taylor?
Do you condemn
people that call for assassination?
Gosh, you're going to ask if I condemn Hamas next. This is crazy. I want for you to acknowledge what I'm actually saying, Sean, and we seem to be talking past each other. I want to talk about the fact that half of all adults get delayed because of cost. We need to talk about that 70% of Americans, by the way, believe that the insurance company practices are responsible in part for Thompson's death. These are signs of an unhealthy...
You want to put a rationalization. I am saying anybody that wants to assassinate any innocent person is wrong. I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican. Or
oh, God, Sean Hannity's so...
And I speak... That is a simple truth that anyone would...
And somehow that still went on for like another minute.
After crashing their car into a pond in Naperville, Chopper 7 was over the scene near the intersection of Royal Worlington Drive and Route 59. You can see tire marks from where officials say the car veered off the road and into the pond. This picture shows the vehicle in the water. A Good Samaritan who witnesses say was a nearby landscaper saw it happen and immediately jumped into action. The driver could not swim, so the man jumped in the water and helped hold her head above water until the emergency crews arrived.
Father thwarts the kidnapping of his teenage daughter in the San Fernando Valley, chasing away a man last night. Today, neighbors tell us the attempted abduction is not the first one they've seen. Welcome to the Fox 11 News at 5 simulcast on Fox 11 Plus. I'm Christine Devine.
I'm Alex Michelson. Last night's incident happened just a block away from where another teen escaped a different kidnapping attempt. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez there live with the story. Christina.
Yeah, and you're going to see people handing out flyers in the neighborhood warning the residents about the incident last week. Now they have last night's thing that happened here. They're scared and saying they may have two suspects out there. Take a look at this.
Scary, like seriously scary.
Reacting to the attempted abduction of a teenage girl in Panorama City. Police talking to the father who tells them he stepped in when a man in his 30s tried to pull his 14-year-old daughter into a dark vehicle on Cedro Street.
Si no hubiera estado él.
What would have happened if the father hadn't been there? Ponder neighbors, saying they had just received a flyer from police looking for other possible victims in a different attempt to kidnap another teenage girl. April 9th, a block away on Roscoe near Van Nuys Boulevard, the teen managed to get away from the suspect's vehicle and call police, who arrested 26-year-old Vanush Manukian. She says she's scared because she heard the suspect was back on the streets. LA County DA confirming to Fox 11 that Vanukian pled not guilty to assault with the intent to commit a sexual felony on a victim under 18 years old. Bail was set at $200,000 according to the sheriff's inmate locator. He was released April 15th at 10:27 p.m. That's 1 hour after the 9:30 p.m. attempted kidnapping on Cedros. So investigators are looking for a different suspect, while still asking for possible witnesses or victims on the April 9th attempts.
It's crazy, you know, like we live right here, and to hear that this is happening
a high-density neighborhood next to a mall with children's play areas where families say they're scared to leave their children alone.
Scary. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. I'd never try to go out alone because I know, like, no matter
I'm not stoned enough. It's crazy.
Now, the suspect in last night's incident is described as a male in his 30s.
She looks
driving
weird.
A dark vehicle, an SUV, possibly a Kia. And we're also going to put
had her
that flyer
skin, like,
on our website at
stapled to the back of her
foxalert.com
head,
describing the incident from last week so people can find out more there. So go to foxalert.com. In Panorama City, I'm Christina Gonzalez. Back to you in the studio.
Like, I don't want to criticize people for...
Also happened to be 420.
Surgery makes you feel better, go for it, but like...
What reportedly started
I think people
from a
are
group of
beautiful
teens
the way
in
they
San Rafael
are.
is now
Naturally.
an unofficial holiday.
In Golden Gate Park, people decamped to Hippie Hill despite the official event being called off for the second year in a row. But as our Dahlin explains, plenty of people decided to celebrate anyway.
Hippie Hill on 420.
Peace, love, and a whole lot of smoke on Hippie Hill.
Every day is 420 because I smoke marijuana every day.
Young and old, lighting up the
smoke weed every day.
There's the weed right now that we finna smoke and get higher than what we just was.
Freedom and relaxation.
Makes me happy. That's what I feel. You know, to see everybody together and enjoying themselves.
The OGs like Mark Serioni say they much prefer this format. He's attended previous 420 celebrations at Golden Gate Park when tens of thousands of people would pack Robin Williams Meadow and Hippie Hill.
There's not so many people where you're stepping over people just to get by. I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, I like the popularity, but
I'd fuck this dude.
Less is more.
Mark likes the non-structured environment. No fencing, no gates, and no large corporations.
In the past, I've avoided it because there's so many people. I would go down to the beach on 420.
But organizers hope they can raise enough money to bring back the big annual celebration next year. The previous celebrations were for adults 21 and over. These young ladies say they'll turn 21 in time for the next 420.
For now, we prefer it this way. So, like, we could just come here and chill. But, like, hopefully maybe soon there could be events.
Without an official event this year, the city once again...
If it makes you happy, I support it.
...free sporting activities at Robin Williams Meadow. Cannabis users are encouraged to take part as well.
What I love is I don't know if you're serious or not.
And, they know what they're doing. They blocked off the streets the way they're supposed to so they can siphon the way the crowd...
The area had a little more
I don't mind it either way.
Because Easter Sunday happened to fall on 420 this year. A few hundred yards away, families and young kids were celebrating birthdays and participating in Easter egg.
I'm at the mercy of the shuffle.
San Francisco. Peace, love, and harmony.
We went all the way back to April.
It means a way to celebrate, just to celebrate life in general.
Yeah, no issues so far. Everybody seems to be coexisting, and it appears to be much more manageable this year. I remember one year when there was an official party here, there was so much smoke here, you couldn't see through the other side of the field. So this year...
It was Easter this year, wasn't it? It was Easter, it was WrestleMania, it was 420.
In a moment, we're going to talk about the life and legacy.
I love you, Amy Goodman.
But we begin today's show.
This is going to bum me out because they have upheld
owner, CEO of First Avenue Productions, and also the
Abrego Garcia's deportation
National
removal.
Independent Venue Association, representing thousands of independent clubs, theaters, festivals across the country. Throughout my work, running venues and organizing a national coalition, one thing has been clear: Amy Klobuchar shows up. She doesn't just understand the cultural and economic value of the arts.
DJ Dub, you still here?
Whether it's standing with us during Save Our
Proud of your
Stages,
senator.
taking on ticketing monopolies, or now with the No Fakes Act, she constantly fights for people behind and making the music. Here at First Avenue, we strongly believe in community, and we believe that our artists and creators play a vital role in building that community. That's why it's so important that we do everything we can to protect their art and identity. It's about
I did actually want to cover this.
artists
I was
like Minnesota's own
in favor of this bill.
whose unique style and presence can't authentically be replicated by any algorithm. The No Fakes Act is about protecting artists in the age of AI, ensuring that their voices, faces, and identities aren't replicated without their consent. It's smart policy, and it's exactly the kind of leadership we've come to expect from Senator Klobuchar. Thank you again for being here. Please join me in welcoming
Are
a
you
true
telling me?
Minnesota original
Are you
and an
telling me
for the creative community.
Thank you. Thank you.
that Amy Klobuchar is not exciting?
And thanks for your leadership. I love being introduced as a true Minnesota original before this particular topic, because this is a lot about what it is about, which is protecting people's rights and their right to be original and their right to create things. And thanks to the Fine Line, thanks to Dana for her work in the Twin Cities. I mean, it's pretty incredible, her leadership. Which of course started here, but then has blossomed to the nation in terms of getting Save Our Stages passed as head of NEVA.
I would.
That call that we had on a weekend.
She can be my GOP mommy.
Right in the beginning of the pandemic, where we knew that they were the first to close and the last to reopen, and how we could actually build a coalition.
Excuse you?
Their coalition, but a coalition in Washington to support their work has really made a difference. Of course, the biggest investment in the arts in the history of America, $15 billion. But who's counting?
A threesome with Joni Ernst and Amy Klobuchar.
To the venues.
I didn't even know I needed that in my life. I didn't even know I needed that fantasy.
Administrations way back then. And then, of course, the work we've done together taking on ticketing.
Looking forward to rubbing one out tonight.
Bipartisan, ask Kid Rock, as well as it resulted in a major investigation in the
about Kid Rock?
Legislation.
Here we go.
The moments after a U-Haul crashed into a house in Orange. The front of the truck even made its way as far as the living room. Still not clear if anybody was hurt, but we do know several people are displaced now. And taking a live look at the scene, crews working to clean up the crash. Authorities are still investigating what caused it.
How'd it get? Hold on, I gotta go back. That's one way to move in.
Wild video shows.
How did it get up there?
The front of the truck even made its way as far as the living room. Still not clear if anybody was hurt, but we do know several people are displaced now. And taking a live look at the scene.
The accelerator had to get stuck or something. Like, it goes up a hill.
Investigating what caused it.
What in the fuck is going on here? I don't know if I can show this on Kick.
I wasn't doing anything, I swear to God! I swear to God, help me!
An 11-year-old girl screams, begs for help as 43-year-old Marius Mutu pins her to the ground. Look closely. He's leaning on her back with what looks like a phone in his hand. She tries to push his arm away.
Get off of her!
Another person intervenes, and the video stops there. This happened Saturday on Allison Park Place. We showed the video to people living nearby.
As a mom, it makes me sick to my stomach. And for like a grown man to do something to a vulnerable person is ridiculous.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says Mutu told deputies someone had been throwing eggs at his apartment for the past week. Mutu said it happened again Saturday. He saw the 11-year-old girl walking by and assumed she was responsible. Deputies say Mutu chased her, forced her to the ground, and restrained her until others intervened. Mutu also told deputies he was trying to take a picture of the child to report her to the apartment management. This woman says she can only imagine how this 11-year-old is feeling.
The long-term trauma and the parents and anybody else who witnessed it, like there's kids all up and down these streets every night. I just think of like, what if it was my kid or our kid? It could be anybody.
Thanks for watching. Stay up.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
On the NBC News app or
shut up, Lester.
Media.
Yes, I'm so glad I got to do that.
No student loan has been referred to collection by the federal government since the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020, when the first Trump administration hit pause on collections. That pause had been continued until now, with officials now saying it will come to an end come May the 5th. Seeking to roll back Biden-era steps aimed at forgiving student loan debt, the Department of Education Monday announced that it is time for the more than 5 million Americans who are currently in default of their student loans to either pay up or face the consequences.
Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly paid back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans?
According to the administration, in just a few months, nearly a quarter of the more than 42 million people with student loans could be in default, bringing the total to nearly 10 million borrowers who have not made a payment in more than 9 months. It is why, they say, they will soon begin forcible debt collection for those who do not take immediate steps to enroll in some form of repayment plan. Notices to those already in default will be going out over the next 2 weeks.
The first 5 million people that are going to be targeted for debt collection, those are borrowers with old defaults. Some borrowers have been in default for 7 or 10 or even 20 years.
But what happens for those who are unable to pay?
They could have their tax refund seized, they could have their Social Security seized, or they could have their wages garnished, and the government doesn't need to go to court to do that.
Ironically, in late February, the Department of Education effectively halted a popular student loan repayment plan that had been instituted by the Biden administration. Since then, it is unclear whether anyone has been able to sign up for the kind of income-driven repayment plans that the administration is now encouraging.
Other countries watch stories about student loans and they're like, what the fuck? Medical debt. What the fuck?
Months after a horrific wrong-way wreck that killed a young paramedic on the turnpike. Local 10's Liam would
weren't even fast enough. Most of these are like 2-3 minutes.
This woman from Hialeah is facing charges out of Broward County, but since she was taken into custody here in Dade, she is currently locked up here at TGK behind me. Let's show you who we're talking about. This is 55-year-old Sunshine Perez. She's now
she looks like a ray of sunshine.
DUI manslaughter, vehicular homicide, and reckless driving. Now, these charges come months after a deadly wrong-way crash that happened on Florida's turnpike. The crash killed a 23-year-old aspiring firefighter. His name was Ezekiel Urrutia. He was driving on Florida's turnpike at around 2 a.m. on January 9th near Red Road. That's when Perez allegedly crashed right into him while driving the wrong way on the highway. Perez was rushed to the hospital. The victim, known as Zeke by loved ones, died at the scene. According to documents, investigators believe that her blood alcohol level was over the legal limit of 0.08 at the time of the crash, and that she was behind the wheel of her husband's Honda. Now, this is an image of the scholarship fund that his family, the victim's family, started in the wake of all of this. It is called the Zeke Urrutia Firefighter Scholarship. They started this to help other aspiring firefighters like Zeke and to keep his legacy alive. I did speak to Zeke's
These things
father
firefighters were pretty cool until last night.
Anything to say regarding the arrest of this 55-year-old driver?
Well, and then the fact that like arsonists become firefighters.
Quote, Zeke is
Tonight, Shannon Sharp is
we're back to Isaiah.
vowing to sue his rape accuser and attorney, Tony Busby, for defamation, who is based right here in Houston. Now, after the allegations she made against him in that lawsuit we have all heard about. The promise came just minutes after the woman's attorney, Tony Busby, released a partial audio file to TMZ Sports that he claims shows Sharp threatening his client, who is seeking $50 million in damages. Let's take a listen.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
Now, Sharp refutes the claim, saying he and his accuser were in a consensual relationship. His attorney claims the accuser turned down a $10 million settlement before filing the lawsuit. Before the release of the new audio, Sharp put out a video calling the lawsuit a shakedown. Meantime, Busby claims Sharp released a false and misleading statement through his attorney. Joining us to talk about it tonight here on The Factor, owner of Boost One Marketing, Sherry Hendrinos, attorney Simone Redwine, and Mickey Crawford McGill.
I don't give a shit.
PA member.
He
used a
tree vandal
to chop down dozens of trees lining the sidewalks in downtown Los Angeles.
Tonight, police say the suspect who was caught on video is under arrest. Mary Beth McDade live with the latest on that arrest and new surveillance video you'll see only on 5. Mary Beth.
Yes, and Mike and Chair, no doubt many in the downtown area are breathing a sigh of relief tonight, hearing that this chainsaw-wielding suspect is behind bars tonight. Now, police tell us that when they took him into custody, he still had that power saw with him. He was captured on several security cameras using a chainsaw to
we totally watched this. We watched a different version of this or something.
On 8th and Union in the Westlake area of LA on Saturday afternoon around 4.
I was in
Think I didn't cover this?
And I just couldn't believe somebody could do this. I did see the news over the
Why don't you want to see the tree vandal with the chainsaw?
The manager realized what had happened Monday morning when she got to work.
It was just very sad to see the trees just cut down like that. They're damaged. They can't just grow again.
She then scoured through her security cameras and discovered she had images of the suspected saw.
He had a chainsaw. It was loud. People were walking by.
Heisenberg.
They called the police. They didn't do anything.
She also reached out to another nearby business owner to see if his cameras had any footage of the incident. And sure enough, he had video of a tall white man with a goatee and a backpack ride up on a bike with a power saw and go to town on his neighbor's trees.
We're shocked that there's people out there that, vandalize properties.
More images surfaced of what police believe is the same suspected vandal sawing down dozens of trees in several areas in the downtown LA area over the past few days. A portion of South Grand Avenue was left treeless, with orange cones now replacing where shade trees once grew. Tuesday evening, the LAPD released a community alert to be on the lookout for the chainsaw-wielding suspect. The LAPD tells us officers in the Rampart area recognized the suspect as a homeless man and knew some of the places he hung out. They say officers caught up with him at one of those locations and took him into custody. They tell us he still had the chainsaw on him. And the mayor's office says that city crews are assessing the damage and making plans to quickly replace the damaged trees. For now, reporting live here in Hollywood, Mary Beth McDade. We'll send back to you guys in the studio.
Tree vandal. God damn, what in the fuck is this?
All right, let's start with the war in Ukraine and what could be a pivotal few days. Right now, the White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, he's in Moscow and he's meeting, as you see right here, with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Both President Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky will be in Rome this weekend, but it's unclear if they will speak directly. Now, these talks are happening after a new apparent attack in Russia. You're seeing this footage. Authorities say a car bomb killed a senior military leader this morning, and an investigation is underway into the circumstances. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams has been following all of this for us from London. Holly, good morning to you. We know that it's still early in this breaking development, but what do we know about this explosion?
Good morning, Errol. Well, Russian officials say
2025.
Yaroslav Moskalik was killed by an explosive device rigged with shrapnel and placed inside a car just outside of Moscow this morning. Moskalik was a senior figure in the general staff of Russia's military. Russian media is reporting that the device was detonated remotely as he walked past, though we cannot confirm that detail at this point. You may remember, Errol, that another Russian general was killed by a bomb hidden inside an electric scooter in Moscow back in December. And
some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Later confirmed that Ukraine was behind that assassination.
And Holly, we saw some footage of White House envoy Steve Witkoff meeting with President Putin in Russia today. What at this
Who was it that said the Troll Patrol? Like some streams were like watching
Well, Errol, this is
The Dark Knight, and my stream's like watching the Adam West Batman.
What came out of that meeting with Vladimir Putin today, if anything. But there is a lot of reporting about the terms of a possible ceasefire deal being proposed by the US, which is thought to include, or reportedly includes, excluding Ukraine from NATO membership and all the protection that that would bring, lifting some economic sanctions imposed on Russia because of Vladimir Putin's invasion, freezing the fighting close to the current front line. And remember that Russia currently occupies around 20% of Ukrainian territory, and recognizing Crimea as part of Russia. Now, as you know, Russia seized Crimea by force back in 2014, the first time that Vladimir Putin
It was
invaded
Thread
Ukraine.
that said it. Thank you, Thread.
Proposed ceasefire, or
Perfect analogy.
that have been reported, say that it is highly favorable.
That was an ugly
to Russia.
table.
And Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said
I'm
this
tired
week
of
that
this.
formally recognizing.
We're right at the end, too. Fuck. No.
Right, let's start with the war in Ukraine and what could.
No.
Crimea will stay with Russia. That's the statement today from President Trump. He says Ukraine must cede territory to
When was this?
World War. He made the comments in an interview with Time magazine.
5 months ago.
Crimea is a strategic peninsula along the Black Sea in southern Ukraine. Russia
Yeah, he's changed his mind since then.
2014.
He said Ukraine can take Russian territory now.
Okay, our top story here at 5. We have a Hennepin County jail deputy that's fortunate to be alive and back at work after surviving an assault on the job.
He was attacked by an inmate while removing his handcuffs after court. Tonight, the deputy is sharing his story with Fox 9's Paul Bloom. And Paul, this is a big step for him.
Tim and Simone, you can see the two images of Deputy Matthew Durrett here. That's him today. And on the other side, him, his eyes black, his nose broken in 3 places in the days following the assault. The deputy, an Army vet with a tour under his belt, telling me on Friday, while the assault will always be a part of him, he now focused on the future.
Pretty typical housing unit. We have 2 different types that we have in the jail.
After surviving a vicious jailhouse assault, Hennepin County Detention Deputy Matthew Durrett said there was nothing that could stop him from returning to his assignment.
Why did you want to come back? There was never any question on whether or not I was going to come back or not. My whole life's been about service.
It was November 2023. That's Deputy Durrett there on a seemingly routine shift, returning an inmate to his cell after a court appearance. Durrett is attempting to undo the handcuffs when he is sucker punched with a left to his chin. What followed after we stopped the video made even longtime Sheriff's Office investigators sick.
I don't think I've ever seen an assault that brutal, and I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 29 years. An assault that brutal on our staff, that it was shocking.
He was going to kill me if I didn't. If like something had to happen, he was going to kill me.
According to the Sheriff's Office, inmate Gregory Garcia would land 3 dozen blows in under a minute. He also attempted to choke Deputy Durrett a couple times before another inmate saw what was happening and alerted others.
It was an ambush.
What?
I mean, that's the best way to describe it. He ambushed me.
Deputy Durrett says he had his nose broken in 3 places, ruptured a pair of discs in his back, and eventually required
an inmate ratted him out.
Would take 9 months of healing physically as well as mentally to get back here to the public safety facility in downtown Minneapolis.
I still use the same amount of caution, the same precautions I did before. I haven't allowed this to change how I do the job.
Well, the question was how there wasn't a camera on him.
His brothers and sisters in uniform,
someone saw what was going on
during the attack, provided comfort during his recovery, and then joined him in a courtroom this week when Gregory Garcia was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
I mean, it was an attack on me, but it was an attack on law enforcement. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to hurt somebody wearing a uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Plain and simple.
Deputy Durrett delivered a victim impact statement at Garcia's sentencing on Tuesday. He is now working to complete his degree to become a licensed peace officer and eventually work investigations, committed, he says, to serve and protect. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.
All right, Paul. Well,
whether they should come to work or not. They should be told from the get-go what's going on.
the concerns come a week after news broke.
I don't want to mention her titties, but if you're going to make me like look at them like that.
Immigration rights attorneys across the country and here in Los Angeles say they are getting troubling letters from the Department of Homeland Security. The letters threaten the attorneys, telling them to leave the country immediately, even though they are U.S. citizens.
Sarah Welch is live in Hollywood with more on the letters and the government's response. Sarah.
Micah Sher, good evening. The lawyer from Koreatown was stunned when she opened that email telling her she had 7 days to leave the U.S. And as you said, she's not alone. Other attorneys across the U.S. have received the same message. Here's what it says.
It is time for you to leave the United States.
Harsh words in the first sentence of an email Harriet Steele opened from the Department of Homeland Security.
I was startled when I first read it. DHS encourages you to leave immediately on your own.
That didn't make sense since the immigration lawyer is a U.S. citizen born and raised in Los Angeles. She thought the notice might be directed at one of her clients, but it wasn't.
There's no identifying information about who the intended recipient is. I would imagine that it would be terrifying for someone who especially maybe someone who, unlike me, doesn't have the privilege of having attended law school, of being a U.S. citizen born in the United States to two U.S. citizen parents.
It's unclear how many people have mistakenly received the DHS notice.
If you do not depart the United States immediately, italicized, you will be subject to potential law enforcement actions.
Steele described it as a scare tactic in step with the Trump administration's mass deportation plans.
I think that this is in line with a lot of policies that we've seen over the past 3 months, which are both chaotic, as this kind of rollout of this notice was, and also intimidating and meant to intimidate people into quote-unquote self-deporting. DHS is terminating your parole. Do not attempt to remain in the United States. The federal government will find you.
Steele represents unaccompanied minors, and this message has some of her clients scared, but Steele won't be scared off.
And I'm not going to be intimidated by this. I'm going to continue doing my work. I know for our organization where I work, Public Counsel, we're going to continue doing our work, continue working with the clients and communities that we serve.
Fuck DHS.
And DHS
put me in alligator Alcatraz, you fucking fascist.
That these emails were sent to some unintended recipients. Sharon Michael will send it back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you.
Oh, no, it was totally intended. Uh-oh, puppy story.
Special reunion tonight in Everett.
An owner seeing his dog for the first time since she went missing earlier this week.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. Like, the house felt so empty without her.
That was the moment when Santiago was reunited with Coco. Coco's so happy. Santiago says that he let her out in the yard Tuesday. A few minutes later, she was gone. Everett police say Coco was found tied up. There's Coco right there behind the train tracks, right near the train tracks near Encore Casino. Santiago believes someone took the dog, left her there. Now Coco is back home. Police are working to figure out exactly what happened here.
Oh, I'm glad Coco's home.
We are waiting on information from ICE, but the owner of that van says that the agents there had a photo of a man they were looking for, and that photo did not match anyone here.
Sir, do you know your rights?
A scene unfolding in a Winthrop neighborhood.
Yeah, I got gazillion stories like this.
Multiple unmarked vehicles stopped a commercial van around 7:30 this morning and taking at least one man into custody.
And he was showing his ID and saying he has a wife and kids.
Nearby resident Scout Grafani shaken by what she saw.
And the face masks were disconcerting as well. Just makes me feel uneasy as a civilian in the United States, seeing police officers who are supposed to be, protecting and serving, covering their faces. It made my heart start racing.
Videos show and witnesses tell us the agents appeared to be with the DEA and Homeland Security. The owner of the van tells us agents took 2 employees into custody. He says one has a legal permit to work and a driver's license. The other has been going through the asylum process. He also says the agents had a photo of an alleged criminal they were looking for, but it did not match anyone here.
Stop hunting people and just work on immigration reform.
Some Winthrop residents support ICE action to remove immigrants living here illegally, while others say those living
residents are fascists.
Should not be targeted.
They've created whole communities and they're just ripping them apart.
Yeah, and families.
It's unclear why the men were taken into custody, but the incident leaving some unnerved.
It's intense. I mean, I just hope that he gets the due process that he deserves and that he gets to go in front of a judge.
The owner of the van also says that before
she has awesome hair.
Agents showed up at his home again with the photo of the person they were looking for. He showed them his driver's license, but that apparently was not good enough. He then dug out his U.S. passport, which seemed to appease those federal agents. We have reached out to ICE, but have not yet heard back. Live in Winthrop, Sarah Conji, WCVB News Center 5.
Wow.
Police say they only opened fire after the man failed to comply and then pulled out a gun himself.
I've heard that before.
Deidre Dukes is live on MLK Jr. Drive in Southwest Atlanta tonight with more. Deidre?
Yeah, we're getting our first new clear looks of the crime scene just behind me. You can see there in that convenience store parking lot where GBI investigators are actively working the scene, gathering evidence, taking pictures. You can see the evidence markers there as they investigate the deadly officer-involved shooting that unfolded here just before 1 this afternoon. Now, what we're told by Fulton County Police investigators is that 3 Fulton County police officers opened fire on a man who ran from them, ignored their commands, and then reportedly produced a weapon. That is when officers say they opened fire on his vehicle, shooting him multiple times. Now, several law enforcement agencies, in addition to the GBI, are on scene, not only to investigate the shooting, but also to maintain order after several of the suspects, distraught friends and family, rushed the police safe earlier in the day and had to be restrained by officers. Now, we talked to the suspect's aunt and also police about the shooting.
I lost my son to murder in 2021, unsolved murder in Clayton County. Jonathan McWilliams and my nephew DeMario was the person who was there for me after my son was murdered. He was my right-hand person. He stood up like he was 45 years old when my son was murdered. And now we gotta face him being dead as well.
We had officers observe subjects loitering in the parking lot, 3657 Martin Luther King, which is the Sitco.
Loitering.
Activity goes on there. They observed a male subject run from the scene. They began in a foot chase after the subject. The subject then ran.
Why does he have a butt crack on his forehead?
His vehicle and was reaching down. The officers ordered them to put his hands up and turn off the vehicle. He did not comply. He then produced a handgun. The officers discharged their firearms.
I could not stop looking
discharging
at
their
his
firearms.
butthole.
3 Fulton County police officers involved in that shooting. The man was transported to an area hospital where they tell us he's dead. Now, police are not identifying that suspect, but family members on scene do identify him as 25-year-old DeMario Smith. Police have not said if they have had any past dealings with him. That's the latest here in Atlanta. Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Deidre, thanks.
Men are now in custody charged with attempted murder following a shootout last year with an off-duty Chicago police officer. James Robinson and Angel Contreras are both 21. They're also charged with multiple other felonies, including robbery and vehicular hijacking.
This motherfucker over here looking like he ought to be on a box of fucking Quaker Oats or something with that fucking haircut. One of those stupid acts. I'm sorry.
In a crime spree on the very same day. This all happened in July of 2024. The officer was getting in his car near 109th Street and Campbell in the Morgan Park.
It's like he should be like exploring oceans in the 1400s.
Tried to block him in
with some
within a dozen shots.
poofy shirt.
An ensuing shootout, but no one was hit. The suspects were able to get away until they were arrested yesterday.
Two young kids are safe after bystanders prevented a man from driving away with them.
Yeah, I feel like we did watch this
Sheriff's
video.
Office released this security footage. This was outside a DMV last month, and it captures the moment multiple people had to rush in and help a mother who was trying to pull her 2-year-old and 6-month-old children out of the back seat of a man's car. She and one of the children were even dragged through the parking lot. A 26-year-old suspect was later arrested.
Insane.
Okay, it is less than 6 miles from the courthouse to the
Ooh, Carrot Reed trial. I remember that.
Police shut down roads and provided a high-security escort.
That was fun.
This is the tour bus that brought jurors to the house at 34 Fairview Road in Canton. A camera was allowed to record the judge and the lawyers, but not the jurors themselves. Earlier in the courtroom, each side pointed out things to notice.
I ask you just to pay attention to the street, the front yard of the home. Second floor window to that house. The 3 front doors in the front of the house.
The jurors saw the house, the yard, the hydrant, and the flagpole near where John O'Keefe's body was found. They walked around the Lexus SUV and saw a dent in the tailgate and the missing taillight that prosecutors say was damaged when Reed allegedly backed into O'Keefe, but which Reed says was busted by a corrupt investigators. Jurors in Reed's first trial last year conducted a similar visit. During the first trial, the Lexus was parked closer to the mailbox. This time it was parked closer to the spot where John O'Keefe's body was found. Jurors aren't the only people to visit this address. Neighbors say it's become a kind of true crime tourist attraction.
There's continually people getting out, looking, trying to see where was the body, etc., etc. So the interest has not leveled off at all.
He's like, get off my lawn.
Reed's lawyers had said she wanted to attend the visit as well, and the judge did give the okay. But in the end, she stayed away.
I don't ever want to go back to 34 Fairview.
Oh,
you've never been back since 2022?
Do you really care about I have.
Now, after that visit to Canton, the jurors returned here to the courthouse where they heard more testimony, including from an EMT who accompanied Reed to the hospital that day.
To go from Karen Reed to Lori Vallow Daybell. This part's probably the most interesting.
Awkward, don't you think?
Let's say you weren't. Would you have preferred the jurors to know that Tylee was dead?
I don't know that. I think they obviously did know.
Well, they said they learned afterwards. So as they were coming out, people were saying, you can now look up the case. So they were Googling things and they're seeing all these prior
So
convictions.
you didn't think that happened during deliberations? Like maybe one person informed all of them that that was the case?
I mean, obviously you and I won't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not saying I was there.
But they were upset when they found out that Tylee and JJ are both dead. For you, seeing Tylee on the video, I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, that was kind of weird in the trial.
But we're seeing video of her in that courtroom.
Well, I
But I guess it was to not taint the jury against her.
and I know where she is, and so it's been almost 6 years since she passed away. I mean, this is the catalyst, right? What happened with her and Charles was the catalyst of her killing herself. So I was precluded from talking.
This is that woman that killed her husband and left him and went to join a doomsday cult. And they ended up killing the kids in a different state. Like the kids died in Utah, but she killed the husband in Arizona. This was the trial for killing her husband. It was fucked up. The husband was fucked up. It was wild.
Talking about that.
Yeah, she defended herself.
Bringing that up.
But the detectives obviously don't say that she killed herself.
I'm aware of what the detectives say, but they weren't there.
So that actually leads me to my next question. So I know last time you said that there was a domino effect.
I can fix her.
That was kind of the cause or the result.
She can be my GOP mommy.
I asked you about it more. You said, I'll save that for next time. So here we are. What do you mean by domino effect? And was the catalyst...
Well, she'd already been found guilty of murder once. She's going to prison. Like, I don't blame her. It was fun for her.
Right? I don't want to really necessarily get into the details of it, but yeah, it was a domino effect, one that I was not prepared for. Like, what...
It was fun for me.
Between Tylee...
I'm probably going to get copyright popped on this. That's why I'm going to go ahead and skip it. Oh, this was earlier. We saw... This is the woman that was married to the bassist from Weezer. This is her shooting at the cops.
We're learning more about that bizarre situation that unfolded earlier this month in Los Angeles involving the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner, Jillian Lauren, who is an author. Now, this all got started as...
She's like some kind of woo offer or something.
Of a reported hit and run with multiple suspects exiting the vehicle and running away on foot. Now, one of those suspects jumped over an embankment into a neighborhood and could be seen on newly released and ended up in the Eagle Rock neighborhood. In the newly released footage, they show one of the suspects from that hit and run crawling through the backyard.
Yeah, she's like a crystal mommy with a 9mm.
Close to the home yard.
Hey, sir. He's in the backyard? Where is he at right now? In the other yard?
And as the search deepened, surveillance footage shows Jillian Lauren exiting her home armed with a gun.
While in the rear yard of that residence, the officer saw a woman in an adjacent rear yard armed with a handgun.
Yeah, there was shit going on in her neighborhood. She's legally armed.
As she walks around,
there is suspects in backyards.
In her hand, she eventually encounters police, who immediately notice the gun and begin repeatedly shouting at her to drop the weapon. The footage shows that moment.
Yeah. Long gray shirt, black hair, black pants. Taking guns in her hand. Put the gun down! Yeah, she lifts that gun. Man, put the gun down, okay?
And according to a report from the LA Times, in the midst of the chaos as police screamed to the woman to drop the weapon and a loud helicopter was above, Lauren can be seen wearing a purple Weezer t-shirt and black tights, walking around the yard with a black handgun, looking around as though she was on high alert. The report says officers on the other side of the fence can be heard yelling for her to drop her gun, although a helicopter hovering above may have prevented her from hearing them.
Help! We're trying to help you! Matt, put the gun down! Come on with your hands up! Drop the gun! You're gonna get shot!
You've got no reason to shoot her.
Then, Lauren can be seen racking her gun, pointing it, and firing at officers. It's at this point that she was shot. Lauren can then be seen going into her home after being shot. A neighbor called 911.
She took the bullet and didn't go down.
To the LA Times to report she had been shot at by 3 men who were standing on the other side of her fence.
It just pissed her off.
That's where he shot her, the caller said. Lauren can be heard in the background of the call. I had my gun, and he said, put down that gun, put down that gun. I said, put down your gun. Oh, and then he shot me.
Yes.
A best-selling author gaining recognition for her memoir back in 2010 called Some Girls. And she also published a book in 2023 called Behold the Monster, Facing America's Most Prolific Serial Killer, based on her interviews with serial killer Samuel Little. Now, after that shooting, Lauren was taken to the hospital. She was later charged.
Oh, that's why you said Promise sucks.
And that case is ongoing.
Yeah, no,
We'll let you know if we hear anything about this.
A Wisconsin judge is out on bond after she was arrested Friday by the FBI. Federal authorities say that the judge interfered with the undocumented immigrant. This is the latest in a series.
I think that trial's getting ready to start. This was in an Iranian port. Holy shit. Bandar Abbas in Iran. It's on April 26th. It's a huge fuck up. Looking like a Chevron refinery.
Tonight, potentially good news for international students who had their visas revoked here in Oregon. We're learning several of them have had their visas reinstated after they were just taken away a few weeks ago. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for K2 News at 11, everyone. I'm Barry Mangold. The Associated Press confirming tonight the federal government is reinstating visas, though international students might not be in the clear just yet. The AP also reports that the lawyers for the federal government plan to institute a new policy for revoking student visas. And K2's Thunby Verma joins us at the live desk now. And Thunby, remind us why those students lost their visas in the first place.
Well, Barry, in regards to Oregon students, ICE has not confirmed that visa revocations were due to pro-Palestine.
David Duke, gay.
The United States Secretary of State.
Chat, should we take a call from David Duke KKK? What do you guys think? Oh, apparently you've been vetoed. Oh, no, Lord Maya said yes. It was one per yes. So we got a yes and a no. Am I on my phone line? Oh, hold on. Haven't had the phones open. My bad. Now we rocking. All right. If you'd like to call in, now's the time. (917) 830-4359. Terry, good to see you, my friend. Oh no, he may have already ran off. I miss you already, David. My Terry folds. We're going to land this in just a little bit, and we're going to switch to, I am going to put fucking everything on a playlist. It could be anything in the world, predominantly like adult cartoons, sitcoms. No, I can't do 60 minutes. God damn it. Apparently there's new evidence about 9/11.
Reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of
the Trump tariffs.
So isn't that
I'm not high enough for this shit. Let's get more
demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for
yeah.
these?
I will. I guess, Mr. Liu, the question is, how does that really differ from Colesville? I mean, the problem that
America deserved 9/11.
Sort of what is happening in your analysis is that you say that the Colesville conduct does not fall within the discretionary function.
I mean, I don't think America did not deserve 9/11.
That even if we agree with you that these aren't in two separate categories.
The innocent people that died in that tower deserve it. No.
Still have to figure
Did we collectively as a country deserve it? Yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Which is the question you say we're not allowed to answer.
The conduct in Collinsville
is that a fair assessment
of the Gobbard?
Well, except for Pete Davidson's dad.
Yes. All right. Well,
like he deserved it.
Having to assess the
okay, I gotta admit it was really funny.
Context.
I don't think so.
I don't see how you can say.
It's like he totally, when asked about the Riyadh Comedy Festival, it's like people calling it hypocritical because like I went there, my dad died in 9/11, but like, did you see the check? Like at least he's owning it. Fuck. Pete Davidson Jewish? I'm going to put it on a motorcycle chase from last night. I have somebody barricaded in their vehicle, but that doesn't seem like much fun. Motorcycle chase from last night seems way better. This is going to be the last thing we do before we go over to Kick and watch
LAPD in pursuit of a suspect accused of assault
sitcoms,
with a deadly weapon.
And Des
adult
Gonzalez
cartoons.
live in SkyCal. Des, looks like you're downtown.
Unless David Duke wants to call in.
Here, and we're talking about a motorcycle, so that really makes it that much more difficult. We'll see. Part of downtown here, and we're talking about a motorcycle, so that really makes
deja
it
vu.
more difficult. We'll see what we can do here, Pat. This motorcycle is that LAPD was apparently tracking for quite some time. But it sounds like, from what we understand, this could be a known suspect that they were casing for quite some time. And then it's possible that this was an assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer suspect. Well, here we go, underneath the 3rd Street tunnel right here. This is where it really gets difficult, especially with a motorcycle. There's so many ways that this person can get out of this by pulling back in the tunnel. We try to keep the shot wide here. LAPD going into the tunnel as well. We'll see if they pop back out, but it's such a long tunnel here. And then it's unclear if the assault with a deadly weapon happened in the course of this, or if that's why they want this suspect. You see all the units down there. They are going into the tunnel, and we're just trying to keep tabs on this, see if he comes out the other side right now.
Is that him?
Yeah, this is what happens when we get into downtown. So, okay, entering the 110 freeway now. They're saying. Yeah, getting on the 110. Let me just throw it back to you here momentarily, Pat and Rube, while we try to reacquire this.
Sure, and then I noticed, Pat, right when right before he went into the tunnel, or she, the driver of the motorcycle, very close call with a pedestrian in a crosswalk there.
Oh God, a cop just hit somebody. Did you guys see that?
So, rush hour downtown, and look at the traffic on the freeways, always busy at this time. Is this the motorcyclist, Des?
We believe so. We heard the ship call out southbound 110 at Wilshire. So, I don't think it's a coincidence that this is
thread the needle.
The route that they decided to take. This was LAPD's northeast area where we were hearing this, so kind of the Eagle Rock area. And then they came southbound on the 5 through East LA and then went west 10. And once they got off at Alameda,
how in the fuck is a cop going to catch him?
Be the strategy
like
of the suspect.
That is the number one trick for being able to get away from the cops, is being on a motorcycle.
Right now. Very nimble, very easy to squeeze between these vehicles. And LAPD, they were trying to re-engage there on the ground. The helicopter was saying if they get in if this guy gets through the high rises, we're gonna have trouble tracking it. So they re-engaged on the ground, but now that we're in some heavy traffic, they kind of need the helicopter.
Then you heard them.
Tabs on the suspect as LAPD attempts.
Be on a motorcycle and go
as we get down to
downtown where the high rises are.
110 interchange, Pat.
You know what, Desmond? So as far as you know, CHP, they have not asked them to engage in this pursuit. I'm asking because
not so
it's on
far.
the freeway.
This is yeah. It may be because this sounds like a known suspect that they were tracking for quite some time. So a lot of times in situations like that, it's a pursuit that they want to keep from end to end. Haven't heard any requests for CHP at this point, but yeah, this is the motorcycle. I hear the tactical flight officer on the frequency in the helicopter overhead talking about this one, and you can see him splitting lanes right here. Always, kind of nerve-wracking in rush hour traffic. If someone tries to make a lane change, this person could go down very easily. We've seen it happen many, many times in my more than a decade covering traffic in Los Angeles. So let's see here. We're getting through the 110 and the 10, and they might be. Looks like they want to stick with the southbound 110 headed into South LA, which is a whole other issue for us with LAX's airspace. But you see the advantages that a motorcycle has over the squad cars and how they can turn on the dime, accelerate extremely quickly. Actually, are we going to be headed? We're actually headed for the West 10, and that's how quickly things can change with a motorcycle. So westbound 10 now from the 110, passing the Washington exit, Pico Union area. So Santa Monica Freeway westbound. This could be a good opportunity for LAPD to catch back up, not the volume side of the freeway. We'll see if ground units are able to, we'll see if they're able to catch up to this motorcycle.
Well, we always talk about
I don't think they will be.
Motorcyclists are on the freeway, and really even on surface streets, as fast
as the LA Times you just passed.
A tiny pebble, and that can just cause, quite a bit of damage to that motorcycle and to the driver himself. So certainly don't want to see that, but that's just the circumstances that they put themselves in when they're driving at these.
We're all hoping for a crash. Come on.
Yep, no doubt.
They're clocking them about 69 right now.
Kind of the double-edged sword of having
slow down a little bit.
Kind of tactical or advantages that these motorcycles have in a pursuit trying to escape from the authorities. But yeah, the flip side is everything, the danger is
I'm hoping for the cops to crash.
exponentially. Like you said, one wrong turn, they go down.
I think they already hit somebody earlier.
They're going to have some, serious
My
road
eyes
rash.
aren't the best.
Broken bones very easily. You turn the wheel too quickly, someone doesn't see a motorcycle that's 60 miles an hour in slower traffic, and they try to make a lane change, don't check their blind spot. That could be the end of that, or hit any of the many hazards on our roadways, or a huge pothole. Definitely possible for this suspect. So we're just widening out to see if any LAPD units are directly behind them, and not at this point, as though there was, that was a CHP there on the shoulder, so they may be monitoring this as well. But now we're off the freeway here at Arlington.
Where's he going?
Getting off the freeway here, and let's see what they're going to try next. And Thursday rush hour, we are in the heart of it right now. One of the busiest times to commute of the entire week right now. So any surface street in this area,
Yeah, I bet Thursday is the worst.
on Western, is definitely going to be very congested, and a ton of
But
cross.
then again, Friday night, Saturday night, they have events going on and shit.
About the obstacles for law enforcement, or the advantages for a motorcycle when we have a pursuit like this. No spike strips. That option's gone.
But then again, I assume in LA they probably have an event going on
Seeing the
every
traffic,
night.
weaving in and out of traffic, that there's no way a car instead of a motorcycle could keep up with that in this rush hour traffic.
No, absolutely. And, there have been times in the past, I'll be curious to see if they bring in actually a motorcycle unit to get in on this. It's definitely rare, but we have seen it used successfully.
A motorcycle unit.
Also with CHP, kind of to keep things on kind of an equal, playing field, so to speak, where they could also just as adroitly get through some of this traffic. But we haven't heard a call for that. It has been
adroitly.
The typical cruisers that have been involved in this. Of course,
Fantastic
he's going
word.
to have their lights and sirens on, and hopefully people will be able to get out of the way. But then you get in congested traffic like this, and there's nowhere for anyone to even get over to yield to LAPD. So that's another complicating factor. But splitting lanes here, northbound Western, getting into one of the densest areas of Los Angeles here into Koreatown, crossing Pico right now. There's going to be very congested streets. A lot of people out here walking around. People trying to find. Whoa! Look how close that was. Well, that he nearly got clipped by that work truck right there.
That was awesome.
Fearless attitude by this motorcycle northbound on Western.
Great
job, what, Desmond. And I am going to bring this up. I will never forget. It's probably been a couple of years ago. I'm sure you remember it happened in the daylight hour. There was a motorcyclist who he was hit, I believe it was by a bus, and we just saw him fly through the air like a waffle. And
like a waffle.
Person lost their life. Just how wild.
How often do you see waffles fly through the air?
Paying attention, and we just saw a close call there.
Where are you at that waffles are just flying through the air?
I do, yeah. That was in the West Valley. I remember on Topanga Canyon when that one happened. Well, now where?
He may have gone in the garage.
Hold on a second here. He might have gone into a parking garage right here. I'm just listening to the air traffic. I think it sounds like he went into this parking garage right here. Yep, so there they go. Now, officers, unfortunately, they were pretty close.
This is the number 2.
Another
That's the number 2 hack.
A motorcycle could go in if it has one of those gates. They could just go around the gate. You can go try to fly up this parking structure, and it still has an advantage here. So we'll see if they happen to come up to the top of the garage here. Not likely, because they're trying to obviously evade our eyes and LAPD's eyes from the air. And we'll just have to kind of listen to the radio traffic and see if the police got in. They did get in there very quickly.
They did. The cops got in there quickly.
Be able to track down the suspect.
That's the sad part.
Structure. If he guns into that structure and just parks the bike and dumps it and walks down one of the stairwells or something, that's kind of a 50-50 chance that they're going to be able to get away. But they do have a description: black shirt, blue jeans. We saw that.
Did he have on a
Oh yeah, that's not common at all.
Yeah, he had short sleeves on. So they do have a description that might kind of benefit them, and they're going to try to seal off this parking structure at Olympic and Oxford to see if they can get this suspect into custody.
And we've seen them lose suspects before in
parking garages
like this, or situations where maybe the chopper can't find them. They go under into a parking garage or under an overpass or something like that, and we've seen them get away before on motorcycles.
I was just wondering, I asked the question because when you have a relatively close shot of this guy, it looks like if there was a jacket or something flapping behind him. That's why I asked that question. And the other reason I did that is because we've seen over and over again too, where a suspect
And now all the other backup is arriving. They're gonna
walking out as if nothing had happened, and
try to
they're not involved in anything at all. So, but as you said, Desmond, they could have gotten a pretty good look at this guy. Well, they're running somewhere.
Yeah, they definitely do have a decent look, and I think I'm hearing the officers say that. Well, let's see now. We'll see who they're running after here. We'll see if we can. Oh, interesting. Look at this. We got. Oh no, that's just. Who's this?
Is that the?
No, this is just. Oh boy, no, I think that's just someone who's kind of just
observing
there, but. Yeah, no, I don't think the suspect would have been able to get over to the top of that building that quickly. But yeah, I'm just trying to listen to the officer here. I think they said they didn't see anyone come out, so I think they're just really trying to get everyone in place. Yeah, they're saying they have sufficient units now, kind of sealing all of this off. And one of the things that can happen when
the gigantic parking structure
distances. I've said it before. They only need about 30 or 40 seconds lead time to get into a structure and to do whatever they have to do to ditch the bike, ditch the car, maybe do a quick outfit change and blend in with everybody. But LAPD was very close. Within, I would say, 10 seconds, they got
it was amazing to me how fast they were behind them.
And they do have quite a few now trying to lock this down. They have that decent description as well. So they, okay. And the assignment desk is now telling me that they may actually have this person in custody. So a stand
really?
And we'll see if they're going to be let out here in handcuffs, Rutabaga and Pat.
Okay, well, as you said, Desmond,
Rutabaga and Pat.
It's like all the exits, they have, vehicles there. So possibly they made quick work of getting to this garage and really surrounding it, setting up a perimeter, where even if this guy walked out, they would have someone at the exits, or law enforcement at the exits. It's just interesting also just to see the regular pedestrians just kind of walking by. The guy on the roof, he's kind of, we don't know who he is, but I wonder if he knew that he was on camera.
And people driving too. We see just a regular person probably trying to get out of the garage on the top level there, just trying to go about their day. So you can imagine what that looks like inside the garage with all of the officers there and whatever is going on that we can't see.
Boo!
Yeah, and people just walking by. I mean, the good news is that he's off the road, right? But for the people in the garage or trying to get their car.
Yeah, I mean, actually managed to cover quite a bit of ground, and I think he did do the outfit change like you said.
This is the guy.
And but LAPD, because they were so close behind, they were able to get the suspect, and it seemed like the suspect may have had a decent chance of getting away just with all the traffic there on Western and going into that parking garage. But LAPD, they're kind of wising up to these tactics because we've seen it so many times. Now, but they were not far behind.
They're wiping his face.
How important every second is when you're dealing with someone.
They were going to give him a titty slap.
You don't have the benefit of the eyes, from the helicopter. But a lot of units responded quickly. This guy actually, they managed to make it across the street and in the parking lot of this Bank of America here. But still, LAPD was able to get them into custody.
And you know what? I bet just trying to blend in, Desmond, because you had the camera focus. If we saw somebody running, we would have noticed that, or you certainly would have noticed that. So probably,
he walked across the street to a Bank of America.
As if he was fitting in with.
If they got the right guy.
And you see the black shirt underneath that we had been looking for, now covered with that white T-shirt. So kind of wild that he got over there, but good that the officers caught up with him.
How?
Yeah, I'm guessing he just probably flew up the ramp in the parking garage, and then that garage probably directly connects to, these storefronts here. And I would imagine that, it was kind of walking very quickly or suspiciously, and was able to, get across the street. But LAPD was wise to it, and they got him a custody.
Wise to it.
And as you mentioned, they certainly.
All right, we're going to say goodbye to YouTube after we get a little puppy bus action going on. This is Mo Mountain Mutts. Love checking in on them. It's treat time.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Mutts. Would you dogs like a complimentary cuddly Chris?
I bet they would.
Little health update. I am back to work. I'm doing great, healing up well. So thank you all for your
Good.
support. Now let's give these
I didn't know there was anything wrong, but I wish you well.
Here we have Amaru, the Malamute.
Hey, Amaru. He's an OG.
Longest bus riders. Next to him we have Gandalf, which is my dog's brother.
Gandalf.
Curly and Bear Dog mix.
So we're gonna go to Kick and Rumble.
Here we have Big Louie.
We're gonna try Rumble out
Oh,
tonight.
Big Louie, because I have Little Louie. He's one of my longest seasonal returners. Here we have Gentleman Jake pointing.
Oh.
Don't worry, he doesn't have a paw injury.
He's drooling. He can't wait.
The longest client on the bus. Been working with him for a long
Yeah,
time.
Jake is awesome.
He is a German short-haired pointer.
He was so excited.
Monty.
Monty.
Poodle. Always exceptionally well groomed.
Exceptionally well behaved.
Here we have Sabbath, Black Lab Pitbull mix.
Hey, Sabbath. Oh my God, what a beautiful baby.
Next to him is Bentley, another Pitbull Lab mix. He probably gives the best greetings when we come pick him up. He'll sometimes go skidding across the floor because he's so excited.
Bentley.
He likes to yell about getting on the bus too. These two get very excited to ride the bus. Here we have Mika, Doberman Pinscher.
Oh.
Mika and Wesson live together.
Very drooly.
This one's Wesson.
Wesson.
Pitbull mix. These two have also been riding for a very long time with me. Here we have Atlas, such a sweet big boy. I met him at a Halloween party. Dropping a little bit of a crumb.
What a beautiful
And here
coat.
we have Bailey.
Hey, Bailey.
Monster. Golden Retriever mix. Gets as soggy and dirty as possible. Often has to do a river washi.
So when we go over to Kick, it's going to be a free-for-all still. Only it's going to be TV shows,
I think is looking outside for Lee and
adult animated comedies,
out of the aisle.
sitcoms.
You are sitting in the emergency exit.
Who knows what will pop up in my wild
Chance
collection.
of an emergency. Thank you for your service. Oh, gosh, you're so cute.
He is cute.
Alrighty, these guys are going home. Lee is going to pick up Old and Littles. I'm going to insert now a little clip from Morning Crew right before they got off the bus with some pre-walkie energy. I meant to do before and after, and I...
YouTube people, podcast people, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun when we read the sack.
Thank you guys.
I'm Justin Freakin. I'll see you when I see you, whenever it is.
Later. These guys are ready to get off the bus.
Oh, thanks. They gave me that.